Mostra o teu poder, desliza no beat, faz acontecer. O mundo gira ao teu redor. Com esse swing, tu é maior. Mexe, remexe sem parar. Essa energia vai te levar. Chão tremendo, toda uma dança. É o baile que nunca vai acabar. Nunca vai acabar. Sobe o clima, sente o calor. Requebra no ritmo, sente o amor. Vem no flow, não pode negar. Essa vibe é nossa, pode acreditar. Mexe, remexe sem parar. Essa energia vai te levar. Chão tremendo, toda uma dança. É o baile que nunca vai acabar. Nunca vai acabar. Direto da favela. Tô na quebrada, o som não para. Moleque, stacks e não para. Vem de cima, eu sou da lama. Mas olha. Na pista, todo mundo se joga. Pela porque me miras así, como si fuera a caer. Pero tú no sabes de mí, lo que yo puedo hacer. Siento la fuerza crecer, ya no me puedo esconder. Las voces que me quieren parar, solo me hacen nada.
When Verizon gives you a free phone on any plan,
Gemini, show me the concealer.
you use AI a lot.
The long, thin tube in the middle.
Yes, boyfriend of the year.
Did we say a lot? We meant a lot.
Gemini, is my houseplant leaning away because it hates me?
Nothing personal. It's leaning away for more sunlight.
Come here, girl. Gemini, any pointers on my downward dog?
But hey, it's the new Google Pixel 10 Pro, plus Google AI Pro for 6 months.
Oh, appreciate you.
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Great God, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm mothering.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Can we get a stream? You're good.
We built this city.
We built this city. Truly, truly, truly. All right. Casting off
Thank
dubious
you.
Chris. All right, so we've already got bans. Looks like we got the Volibear ban because
Oh, wow.
we've had a few players in solo queue playing Volibear. So people
Who's
are
that
getting target
character
bans
on the
already.
middle right? On the
Middle
right.
right, that is Aurora. She is an AP mage. She's generically strong. We're not going to talk about her because she's a really complex kid.
And the character all the way on the left, is that LeBlanc or?
That's LeBlanc,
Oh,
new
wow.
art.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so
Sivir
it
on the
looks like
top
we're
right.
going to get a first pick for Ashe. Yeah, new splash art for Sivir. I'm not really sure how I feel about first picking Ashe here. I don't think AD carry is necessarily a high prio type of lane, but
I was
considering
about
that
to
we
ask,
banned out,
do you pick what you want first, or do you save your key picks for the last?
yeah. So this is a league where people are taking it seriously enough to like do counter picks and have strategies, want to lock in bot lanes together, things like that, right? So
We're
like,
just throwing away our 80 carry picks, basically.
so you lock in Ashe here because Ashe is really safe. You lock in Sivir here because you're okay playing Sivir into Ashe. Both scale relatively well, and both provide a lot of utility. You wouldn't want to pick Sivir obviously into like a Caitlyn lane. You're not picking Sivir into like a Varus lane, but you'll pick Sivir into Ashe well enough, and you'll just like trade lane phase, right? This is
Is
a
Bard like
handshake
a roam
lane.
support?
Bard is a heavily roaming support, just like he was when he came out. Excellent pick in the general meta nowadays, right? Where you want to get out of lane and try and secure grubs as quickly as possible. Sivir is one of the better carries at laning 1v2 because of her wave clear, which makes it really easy for her to just knock down a wave, go back to her turret, and reset over and over again, which allows her Bard the freedom to be on the map, gank mid, things like that. Now that is a priority pick.
Is that a top laner that we're seeing, or what are we?
That's Azir. So you remember Azir?
Yeah.
I
remember him in mid lane, but you mentioned him top lane.
So he's still a mid laner. Arguably the highest priority pick in the league. Usually he's banned red side because blue side is forcing red side to ban it because they'll lock it in first pick. The fact that they got it on second rotation is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Azir is a huge lane bully. Almost every mid laner in the league plays it as their primary champion, even in solo queue. Yeah, no, seriously.
Nice.
Like,
yeah.
Nami. And Nami is also just an extremely strong laner. I really like Nautilus's draft so far. Nami doesn't see a lot of competitive play and is kind of more famous for her strength in solo queue. But
is Nami aggro, or what kind of support is Nami?
Nami's very aggressive. She's an aggressive enchanter support. Remember how, so when you were playing, she might have been a little bit more of a safe pick. Nowadays, she's a lot more aggressive. Only because
she like kills, right?
Up really high. Yeah.
Between her bubble and the E steroid and the move speed and the heal and the W.
Exactly, yeah. All those numbers are kind of like really high. It feels like, at least from my end, as the 80 carry.
It felt
Nami's
like a caster
my favorite
last time I
support
played
to
her.
play with. Yeah.
Supporty.
So the character you just saw picked is Mel. Mel is another mid-rangey mage, control mage type of champion. She's a newer one, so she was only released last year, I believe.
Arcane.
Yep, she's from Arcane. She's pretty good.
It's so crazy they made a game about Arcane, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? She's relatively decent in terms of like strength overall, but Azir is like far and away the highest priority mid lane pick in this league so far.
Is Mel into Azir good, or?
Mel into Azir is about even, but Mel doesn't do nearly as much as Azir will in the late game. Mel does have certain comps where she could do better than Azir, especially death ball comps, meaning like when your team is going to run like full tilt at the enemy team, which High Alert is set up for with Sivir and Bard, right?
Right. Yeah.
But they have to get like pretty good engage from their top lane and jungle in order to make that work. And Mel
I'm really
isn't
curious to see
priority
these
on
picks.
Azir.
Yeah,
for sure. So let's talk about the bans real quick. So Camille's going to get banned. Camille being one of the better side laners because
we have 5 bans.
Yeah.
Cassante, nice, like that.
Okay. So Cassante, I'm not sure how I feel about Cassante here. Cassante's a safe laner, don't get me wrong, but not exactly the best engage pick. Usually he's a better like disengage champion. Yeah. Whereas like what I kind of want to see from the top lane here is maybe like a Malphite or a
Is Cassante like a split pusher and then like come fight me guy, or is he a group up and fight guy?
Cassante is a tanky, what I would call reactive split pusher. He doesn't deal enough damage to be like a priority split pusher who crushes turrets.
Until he gets attacked, right? And then he...
Well, I would say he's better at contesting other split pushers because his defensive stats are really high. He's decent at clearing waves. He's just not good at the part of split pushing where you actually hit the turret.
Sure, sure. But I mean, like, just ramming your minions into the turret is usually pretty good, right?
It's decent. He's better
Yeah.
than Zero Split Pusher, but he's not as proactive as a lot of other split pushers.
Does the green rune that hits turrets really hard, is that still a thing?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
Okay.
And Cassante is not one of the characters who takes it to give you.
So we're looking at a Rumble top Maokai jungle?
Yeah, so this is Rumble top, Maokai jungle. It could technically be a flex with either of those swapping, but it's likely Rumble top, Maokai jungle.
This is such a big fat like team fight engage comp.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying when like you look at the amount of engage and AoE CC that Nautilus is packing, it's a lot of utility to set people up in one place for Azir to just free hit.
Wow.
But
What's going on?
it's worth
High
noting
alert.
that so High Alert's picking like full disengage.
You're gonna split a lot, or what's the plan here?
So their plan, it looks like, is to kite out Nautilus's CC and utility and try and re-engage after they use a lot of their big cooldowns. Because Nautilus has to burn ultimates in order to get
Like
really
a
good
Nami
fights
ult or
off.
something? Yeah.
Yeah, Nami ult, Maokai ult, Rumble ulti. And so
Yeah.
when those critical cooldowns go down, High Alert is really good at like kind of kiting those out. And then once those cooldowns are down, they try and fight like a fair fight, right? Where they're not stuck
That's
in
pretty
place
cool.
taking a zero damage.
Yeah.
And it's worth noting, I know I talked about how Mel usually wants to be going forwards, but she's also really good at going backwards. She's just not good at being in that mid-range state, right?
Kazi, who's that character between Heimerdinger and Alawi in the middle of the screen?
In the middle of the screen. That is Hui.
Oh, is that our Ink guy?
That's Invoker.
Painter guy? Yeah, I've heard about
Yeah.
this guy. Yeah, okay.
That guy's nuts. But not his numbers are kind of down right now. Like because he's a really good utility champion. He is pickable. But probably not into Azir because he gets bullied really hard. If you want safe lanes for Hui.
Got it.
Another reason why Azir is really good right now is because even Azir's bad matchups are still very winnable for Azir because he just does so much damage after he gets his first item. So looks like our matchups are going to be top lane is going to be Cassante versus Rumble, which is a split push heavy matchup. Both characters very capable of team fighting. It'll probably be relatively even in the early game, although Rumble can bully Cassante before those first couple of backs. Jungle, we've got Lilia versus Maokai, which is kind of your classic skirmisher versus tank matchup. And then in the mid lane, we've got two mid-rangey mages. Azir with like slightly more prio on average, but Mel definitely has the ability to outplay in the lane and give her jungler a lot of prio and get roams off. But Azir's probably going to outscale towards the late game. And then bot lane, we're going to have the Ashe Nami lane, which is like a heavy bully lane, into Sivir Bard. Sivir Bard being like kind of a way to try and handshake themselves out of lane phase and get to the mid game as quickly as possible, while just getting as much CS as they can onto Sivir, while probably conceding a slight lead. In exchange for Bard getting to be on the map a little bit more than Nami likely will, just because Bard has all the move speed, CDR, chimes, and general kit designed to get him out onto the map as quickly as possible.
I want to see some clutch Bard ults disengaging.
I think we will.
Wow.
Bard ultis are really, really good against Rumble ultis, Maokai ultis, and Nami ultis. But the thing is, he probably can't dodge all three.
Something's gonna get through.
Yeah, we're gonna have to coordinate, right? Lilia's pretty good at disengaging with her sleep. Cassante is pretty good at disengaging just by being like this incredibly meaty tank that pushes people away. No, seriously, like it works. Character does what character's designed to do. I expect.
Do Cassante's build tanky, or do the build like fight?
He is incredibly tanky. He's just a mega tank. He's a mega tank who's. So do you know how Cassante's ulti works?
Yeah, when he takes a bunch of damage, he can get a bunch of AD, right, and fight back.
Yeah, exactly. So he's still full tank. And then in side lanes, he will usually ulti a little bit more, but going all out in team fights is a little bit tough.
Because you lose defensive stats, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, no, for
Can't
sure.
wait to see how they do it.
I am also very excited. So this is a 3-minute timer for spectators that we have to deal with. So like that's why we have this kind of dead air here, because they're starting the game right now, but we have to be 3 minutes behind. For like
Fair enough.
customers.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
That's just how the client works too.
Yeah, I know.
I am probably most excited to see the mid lane matchup. We haven't gotten to see a ton of Azir make it through picks and bans, and so I'm excited to see if like Azir is able to take over this game. Really,
I'm really curious. Like, how do junglers like work nowadays? Like, do they just hit the lane that's closest to where they finish their clear, or is there like does everybody go bot lane in 3v3 all the time, or what's going on?
So most junglers 6 camp clear, which means they full clear, and then they hit the scuttle crab. Whether or not they go top down or bottom up is based on vibes and where they think the enemy team is going to end up. If you are the Maokai in this situation, you probably want to avoid the enemy jungler, so you're probably going to try and play mirrored, right? Because you can't really skirmish with the Lilia. In addition, jungling is also kind of based on priority, right? So if you're the Lilia and you're looking at your lanes, you probably won't have prio in bot lane because they're heavily outranged. So you probably want to path from bot to top, which means if you're Maokai, you probably want to be doing the opposite in order to just make sure you get all your HP in camps because you don't.
How strong are Maokai ganks? Pretty strong,
Maokai
right? WQ
are decently strong, but he can't really skirmish against the other jungler.
So if he gets contested, he's cooked.
He's not cooked necessarily. There's room for outplay, but it's hard for sure. Like you don't pick Maokai to fight before level like 9, right? You're not looking for smoke before you have your first item. You're probably not able to. You're really good at setting up your bot lane specifically. One of the issues with having the team comp that Nautilus does is that they are triple AP topside, so it's really easy to itemize against them on your first or second back if you're the top laner or even the mid laner. You can just build for mid lane. You could build your Banshees or your Crystal Necklace, which is like the item that gives AP and MR. Or if you're top lane, you can just like kind of rush the Spirit Visage or your Spectre's Cowl, and you can be pretty well set against getting ganked. So I would expect
Spectre's Cowl still insane.
Yeah,
have that passive where you regain.
Still very, very good. Yeah. I would expect because of that Maokai to try and get bot lane more often than top lane, just because it makes a little bit more sense. And also, neither bot laner is really going to build defensive items, right? Whereas, like, if the top laner Cassante is obviously highly incentivized to build defensive items, and mid lane can afford to build defensive items, even if they're a little bit outside of the common build. You know what I mean?
Top laners still run TP, yes.
For the most part, I would expect both of these top laners to be running TP. I would expect Azir to be running TP. I would expect Mel to be running TP. And I would expect Bard to be running Unsealed Spellbook, Flash, Exhaust, probably. Unsealed Spellbook being a rune that lets you switch out your summoner spells.
Yeah.
So
I remember
Unsealed Spellbook. Have
yeah.
TP in mid-game.
I like that.
TP got nerfed since the last time you really played League of Legends, but it's still stupid busted.
It's where like it only gets the CD reduction when you teleport to a tower, right? Is that what you mean?
There's been further nerfs. TP now has travel. It's very fast travel, but like you essentially like go really, really fast to your TP location, which means the further you TP, the longer it takes you to get there.
Is that represented by like a longer cast time, or is it once you're done casting you fly over?
Once you cast the TP, you fly over.
Oh.
You fly over real fast, but it's very telegraphed.
That sounds like
also,
a nerf.
TP is visible in Fog of War no matter where you teleport.
Oh wow. Okay, no more bush ganks.
Not really. It's still very busted. It's still really good to take TP. And especially in organized play, right? Like, it's good enough to take in solo queue, but organized play, you want TP even more because it just gives you the ability to play your side lanes better.
Yeah.
Especially when you're running like one of these Sivir comps where like you kind of want to sit Sivir in weak side. You really want double TP so that you can afford to be able to like have ganks available on your Sivir lane at all times. And kind of give the enemy something to think about when they want to rotate on the Sivir or overload one side, right?
No, I love the way that teleport impacts the game. I think it's really cool.
For sure. I do too. I think the reason why Riot keeps nerfing it is just because even if it's neat, it is like a little bit incredibly strong And as the game evolves, TP just becomes more and more valuable, so you have to nerf it more and more as people like realize mobility is busted, and so you take the mobility summoner spells. Because mobility summoner spells is really good. Alright, so it looks like we're in the game. Looks like we're going to get the standard start from both teams, which is going to be fanning out into each of the individual vision choke points.
Yep.
Just making sure nobody's getting invaded.
I love that. Look at the mini map. Look at how perfectly arranged they are with each other.
No, for sure. They're very coordinated. Like, these teams do practice together, and they try and make it. They're legitimately trying to make sure that they play like the optimized strategy. Neither team is really set up for invade, so neither team is really trying to push their luck. But at the same time, you kind of want to see where the enemy is, get an idea of where the jungler is going to start.
Yeah, and make sure you're not getting invaded. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, the junglers are actually on the same side, top side, but that could be intentional. They have up until about 1 minute and 15 seconds to peel out to get to the other side of the map in order to be mirrored, like I was talking about. So see here, you've got the Maokai moving down bot. He's pinging the blue buff because he's trying to tell his team that he wants to start there. Even if he's going to ward bot because he doesn't want to get invaded, because he knows Lily is a little bit more powerful.
We still leash our junglers, or do they just clear on them?
We do not leash junglers. So when I was saying the jungle items are broken, they give you dummy sustain and a lot of damage. Almost no jungler necessitates actually, no, not almost. No jungler necessitates a leash. To the point where even in solo queue and low, people don't leash their. It's extremely nice as like a laner who plays bot lane where people would intentionally go just to, oh man, we've got bot lane getting bullied out right here. So this is something we predicted early, right, in the draft phase. Nami Ashe is just like a lot of rage to contest with for like the low rage Sivir lane. And Bard doesn't exactly have like really good sustain level 1, level 2.
They're so bullied. Did Sivir burn heal?
Sivir, I believe, burned. I think Sivir took.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, then Bard burned heal.
So this is kind of a mistake I think that High Alert is capitalizing on. They realized that Bard decided to take Q level 1, and so they have elected to try and play hard bully, because if Bard doesn't start heal in that lane, like the teapots, the hot cocoa, then Sivir can't really play. Sivir can't step up to the game. But now that Bard has his hot cocoa online, Sivir can at least get like a little bit of that HP back and still contest some amount of this XP that they're trying to take. That's going to be a turret shot on the Casante though.
Rumble, well played.
So right here, Mel is really good level 1, and like I said, Azir's a bully, but he's much better once he gets his first back and he gets his last chapter, or in this. Sorry, Azir doesn't take last chapter. Azir takes attack speed up. Once he gets his recurve buff, he'll be a lot better. But for now, Mel is going to be able to bully.
Although Nami's walking up hard. Oh man, there goes our flash.
Out of the Bard. But Ashe is just walking both of these players out of lane, and it's going to be really, really hard for either of them to find anything. However,
the junglers are down there.
Jungler's pathing bot, and it is set up a little bit better for the Lilia. However, her lane is extremely low HP and doesn't have consistent CC to really set up her game.
Yeah, and they're just underneath the tower.
Yeah.
Ooh, we're gonna get some mid lane action.
Lilia kind of getting chased out by the Nami, looking for just a little bit of damage. Probably can't fully follow up.
Wait, do they know that Maokai's there? Oh man.
They don't.
4v3.
So this is gonna be 4v3 in favor of Nautilus. They're gonna go ahead and get this engage onto Frozen Ace. Frozen Ace gonna take a lot of damage. He's going pretty low. He's going to have to burn the flash here. Tyka's hitting Zac Fair. Both these characters making it under turret. Red Raleigh trying to be able to be the person who heals. That's going to be first blood going over to the Lilia. Zac Fair still living under turret. Les Force is going to go ahead and try and get a dive in. He's going to receive the heal. Zac Fair is going to go down. Frozen Ace is going to be the only person making it out on the side of Nautilus.
He might get got.
No,
Wave's coming in. Yeah.
They might set up a dive here, but it looks like he's going to be able to get his back off.
Rumble dominating the lane up top. Hasn't even used his potion.
As expected, Rumble definitely the better character at before items come into play, right? Always been.
Okay, Maokai gets out.
Yeah, and Maokai.
Oh, we're teleporting. I see the movement. Cool.
Yep.
Wow, I like a mid laner that runs TP. I like that.
I think both mid laners are TP mid laners.
I like that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Sivir. Don't give
Sivir
up.
just getting walked fully out of lane by the Nami. However, we can't see Sivir has gotten her CS back up to the level of Ashes and maintains basically even gold after this wave gets to the Sash. The real big advantage is going to be on the mid lane, Mel collecting, in the jungle, with Lilia collecting both of those kills. Really going to give her a boost over this Maokai for some of these skirmishes mid game. And here's what we were talking about kind of pregame, Chris. You see how the Bard is already mid lane?
Yeah.
And we're 5 minutes into the game.
Are they going to invade?
Anticipation of the grubs getting spawned, and Lilia wanted to take those as soon as possible.
Nami's in the bush. She's looking like King Bon running up on Sivir. Okay.
Well, this is how they want the win to go, right? This is why you pick Sivir, is so Sivir can farm these waves under turret in the 1v2, and your Bard is able to get out on the map. The trade is that your Sivir's probably going to be behind for most of lane, but that dive did help to negate some of the early disadvantage that she was at, which is really good.
We have 4 guys on Nautilus's side that can move bot lane right now. And absolutely collapse on that bot lane.
It's looking like they want to make a play for Dragon because they both zoned each other off of the immediate grub spawn. And neither top laner has serious prio. Cassante was able to go back and get the Negatron cloak, which is really important for negating Rumble's damage. Meanwhile, Rumble hasn't found enough of a good position to find it back, which means he's actually losing prio to Cassante right now.
Are we pushing bot lane? Are we contesting Dragon? Looks like we're not contesting Dragon.
Maokai taking it back here is probably a concession to Lilia's really big CS and kill lead. Maokai knows that he's too behind to be able to reasonably contest this Dragon, and might even be enough CS behind to where Lilia's Smite is doing more than hits right now. So Less Force is going to be able to take the Dragon for Team Nautilus, which is reasonably big. You want the first Dragon. Obviously, you know, stacking buffs are good, free stats are good. The bigger issue is that High Alert wasn't able to trade anything.
Yeah, there was no ganks on the other side of the map. There was no fade, nothing. They just ate it, I guess.
Yeah. They didn't even get a wave bot lane because Sid was able to farm this so well. But it looks like we're going to get a Nami bubble landing onto the Bard. It's a lot of damage coming out from the Ashe, but the Bard's tunnel is going to give him the escape that he needs. And that's just a little bit more waste of time. That's going to be a gank onto the Cassante. Cassante's going to go ahead and root himself up to try and get the Unstoppable. He's going to go all out onto the Maokai. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's taking a lot in return. Rumble still hasn't dropped the ulti, and ultimately, Cassante's going to make it out. Rumble getting a little bit caught here.
Engage.
Not quite able to do enough. He's one auto attack away. Good disengage from the Maokai to get himself out, but just not enough from the Rumble gang.
Maokai needed to come out sooner. Did he level up mid-fight or something?
He did level up mid-fight, and I think he might have not hit the button in time. Just a really tough spot for High Alert getting punished for that overextension and ultimately giving grubs as well. With the Bard doing exactly what we were talking about, just making the bot lane a 1v2.
Here comes the teleport. We're going to contest this, looks like.
I don't think so. I think this is just a lane push, yeah. We just got too much prio on the side of Nautilus to be able to give up these grubs right here.
They're going to gank Rumble, 100%. He's dead.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to actually set up a potential... Yeah, they're for sure setting up another gank. There's not a really good way in for anybody here. And that's going to be a lot of damage coming in from the Mel. She is walking into melee range. Rumble is pretty good at being able to...
Lilia getting caught in the river? Or is Lilia winning over there?
No, Lilia is probably winning that fight. Rumble's going to go ahead and die to Breadwater and Tyke off of really solid gank following those grubs. Perhaps not supposed to be in that exact spot. Lilia's pretty low mana looking at the Maokai and the Nami, but it is enough to where she's able to zone them off. Maokai is going to pick up that Scuttle Crab, and they're just going to go back to the farm.
And High Alert was able to get the Scuttle. That's good for the Maokai. Still way behind the Lilia. Jungle gap, as they say.
What do you think you would do here if you're the Maokai to kind of make up this 1,000 gold lead that you've...
Farm and tell all my laners to stop fighting and not die and sit under the tower.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
yeah.
like... Or like get like a 4-man rotation on one of the lanes. Because Lilia is stronger, so there's no way you're gonna win.
I think I would like to see Maokai try and set up a dive here. We've seen how vulnerable this Sivir is, right? Like, she is legitimately just alone in this lane.
She won't push out though.
Sure, but you can set up the 4-man dive on the turret. Bard isn't nearby. If Bard is nearby, it's a lot harder.
But who's the 4th man? Like Azir walks down or Rumble TP's in?
You have to pull your Azir. It's a little bit harder to get your Azir out of lane.
Because Mel will just push and shove down the mid tower, right?
Yeah, you'll definitely trade a couple waves for it, but like at this point, it might be something you have to do, and that's going to be a gank going down bot side. Going to go ahead and burn another flash from the Bard. Ultimately, he's going to make it out, but that is a resource gone in
So
favor
safe.
of Team Nautilus. Yeah.
But you know, High Alert is running it. So did we just flip names on the teams? We did.
I think we did. Yeah, so we'll pretend, just pretend this.
Yeah,
So it looks like
High Alert is running this game.
Yeah. So Nautilus is going to go ahead and
Rumble.
drop the ulti onto the Rumble. Rumble is definitely pushing this guy's teeth in, but at the same time, Casante's goal right here is not exactly to fight. He simply wants to keep up an XP and get this wave clear before he backs, right? Wow, this seems like a little bit of an extension from Casante.
Dragging up
Walking at the turret like this, but he does know where the enemy jungler is, or at least has an idea because they can see him in the lane getting pinged out.
Maokai up too. Is Maokai trying to gank mid?
Maokai's trying to gank mid, but he's standing on a ward.
About to run into.
He knows it. Casante getting his back canceled by the Rumble. This might not be the best fight for the Casante. He's looking to put some aggression down, but he just doesn't have the damage. This is a lot coming out from the Rumble, and then we've got an engaged down bot lane. That 4-man dive that we were talking about, they're going to go ahead and clean up that Sivir pretty easily. They're already trying to peel out, but that's another Maokai ultimate going down, being able to disengage them pretty cleanly. And Casante is going to be living up top side.
Yeah, he was able to disengage.
Ultimately, Nautilus finding a kill bot lane onto a very vulnerable side.
Okay, Nautilus has prio for Dragon. Cool. Let's see if they can convert it.
Yep, as you can see on the timer, they've got 5 seconds on it. Really important to try and get at least one dragon in this early game just to delay that 4th Dragon Soul wing con, right?
Lilia's not letting it slide. We're going to have a smite off, baby.
I don't think that Nautilus has a good angle to really engage here. Especially, but we've got Frog Guy on the back end. Oh, big slide coming in from the Azir, but Less Force is still going to get in, ultimately still losing the dragon on Nautilus' side. Mel's going to try and get an ulti off, immediately scooping a double kill, but that's going to be Azir cleaning her up, and ultimately it's just going to be a 2-for-1 for Nautilus and the dragon. Or 2-for-2, excuse me.
2-for-2, yeah, that made it really, like, if Mel hadn't gotten that double kill, that would have been a big L.
Huge problem, yeah. And here we kind of see the power of AP items on this Casante, right? He's rushed his Chain Warden or whatever this item is called. He's just completely unkillable to the Rumble now.
I haven't seen that item. Cool.
So this is a newer item. I don't remember what it's called. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Sivir's pushing the tower down. Bot lane is nowhere to be seen. Maokai's gonna scoop up that wave. Bot lane's moving up top. They might be making a play on the tower, or maybe it's for grubs. Probably grubs.
For sure. Definitely looking to try. And,
Lilia's pathing towards top as well, so it's all gonna come together.
Oh, it actually looks like we're getting a little bit of a swap here with the support coming topside to help the Casante contest.
And Sivir can just clear waves. Maokai just pinged on Sivir, so Maokai and Rumble are about to catch that fade. Oh, maybe Maokai just turns back around.
Uh-oh, huge engage. The Azir trying to slide on this Mel, and that's the type of damage that Azir is doing.
Nashor's Tooth.
It's so good. I don't think in the history of League of Legends there has been an item that is so much better on one champion than Nashor's Tooth is on Azir. Like, there's been more busted items, right? Items that have been overall better. But I don't think there's been a bigger delta between, like, other characters with Nashers and Azir with Nashers, if that makes sense.
Even, like, Archangel Staff Rise, you know what I mean?
Nah, absolutely not. Like,
Not even close.
Archangel, because, like, Archangels was still bad sometimes, right? Like, you would have to build it on Rise because Rise scales with mana. But it's not even that you have to build Nashers, it's just that Nashers is actually broken on this character. Like, this character could just build AP items and be fine.
Yeah. You can build other items on Rise and be fine.
Nah, it's illegal.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I play a lot of Rise, you know. Sometimes you get up to some funky stuff.
Right, so it looks like we're going to be switching a little bit more of our crowd to the top side of the map. As our bot lane swap up top, start clearing the waves, and our top laners kind of fade bot. But Rumble's creeping up here. Perhaps they're trying to set up a play around the next neutral objective spawning in that Baron pit. Looks like it's going to be Rift Herald here. And they definitely have a lot of position for it, but I'm just not sure if Rift Herald is worth the
Mel
amount
has
of resources
prio.
they're going to have to spend in order to get it. Mel does have prio. Nautilus still has position, but they're potentially giving up bot side turret in order to get this Rift Herald, which
We're teleporting.
maybe
Yep.
not be worth it, but it looks like we're going to get some TPs burnt. Redwater's going to try and peel his team. We're going to get the Lessworth's going to get knocked around. Frog Guy is again on the backside. Engage is going really well for Nautilus so far as you're picking up the first kill. That's going to be the Rumble ulti. Huge Azir ulti, absolutely cleaning up the entire team, knocking everybody into the Rumble ulti. And Frog Guy just isn't going to be able to do enough damage to be able to get his team out. And that's going to be a virtual ace coming out on the side of High Alert. The only person really walking away unscathed being the Cassante. Oh, and it looks like
He's dead. Yeah.
He's very dead.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh no, he's dead.
Respect. Man, yeah, they just, I mean, they had the right macro decisions, but they just couldn't hold up against Nox, like, team fight comp. That Nami ult went so huge, and that little choke between, like, mid lane and the Baron pit. Oh, did 3 people get hit? 4 people? That was tough.
I think it was 3 people getting hit into a Rumble ulti, into the Sarima shuffle, to, like, keep
that was
them
so tough.
in the Rumble ulti, right?
I didn't even see the Maokai ult, but I'm sure it had massive impact.
I'm sure it was somewhere in there.
Yeah, that was hard to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, there was enough going on.
I guess maybe High Alert thought that they were one step ahead, but they weren't, because in a straight 5v5 they'll just lose.
Yeah, well, they had the good position, right? It's just that the engage worked a little bit too well on High Alert's side. Or sorry, on a
Nautilus. Yeah. What dragon are we on? What's this map change I'm seeing? Is this Wind Dragon?
So this is going to be Inferno Drake.
Okay.
It gives offensive stats, AP and AD basically.
Yeah. So the best case scenario for the winning
They're gonna
side.
get TP mid coming from the Mel. And it looks like we're going to want to contest this dragon, yeah. Frog Guy, again, kind of lurking on the backside. And I don't want to say he's out of position, but he's definitely been in very unique positions. But positions where he's really... No, I'm serious. Like, he's been approaching the fight from the backside, which is weird for an AD carry. I'm not sure it's what they want, but part of me thinks...
Dude, I don't think High Alert should be starting this dragon, because they're just going to get engaged on. Are all the ults still down?
Well, High Alert looking to try and force here. Losing the Bard ulti is really important for the disengage, but they're going to try and engage off of it. Nami Wave is going to go through basically the entire team. The Serena Shuffle is going to hit everybody, and that is absolutely devastating for the side of High Alert. Really getting tossed around by this Azir. Yeah, Azir's really... I think this is really showing why Azir is such a power pick, right? The amount of damage and the amount of directional CC that this character provides is just kind of unmatched by any other character that High Alert could field, or potentially any other character in the game.
And he's so mobile, and he can just slide in a range.
And he's won 2 teamfights virtually by himself at this point.
Don't forget, it's always a team effort.
No, for sure it's a team effort, but the team is designed to set up this Azir, and that's exactly what it's doing.
I know all about that.
If you are High Alert here, right, what do you think the general path is back into the game? Like, what do you think you're looking to do, knowing that you're behind 1 dragon, a few kills, probably
Pressure the side lanes while they go for objectives. I don't know. Like, they're losing the objectives. Like, they contested them and they just lost, so they should just pressure the side lanes opposite to the objective.
So when you say pressure the side lanes, do you mean with mid and
Push
top in the side lanes, and then you leave your Sivir to catch waves mid?
Yeah. Yeah, because they're already playing catch up, and they essentially, you waste your time, right? If you rock up to an objective and you get swept, you could have been farming, you could have been pushing an objective on the other side of the map.
And not only are you wasting your time, right, but you're also giving up resources in addition to expending your own if you get to one of those bad team fights. So maybe what we need to do is just play these side lanes and then look for picks with this Bard, like going around the map. Bard is going to get a little bit caught here. He's probably fine, but still definitely taking a lot of damage. He's going to burn a Rumble ulti right there, but ultimately finds his way out. Bard, a really safe character, kind of be walking around the map with just looking for wards.
Does Nautilus have sight in the enemy jungle? Yes, they do. Okay, so
Yes,
they know what
they do. They've been able to push their ward line pretty hard.
We're 2-manning mid right now?
Yeah, with the prio after these team fights. Looks like we're going to have ADC and support mirrored mids, which makes sense. Just the classic
Cassante.
decision.
Oh my god, there's gonna be a huge fight, man. I can feel it.
Okay, Bard ulti comes out. It's going to whiff on both Zac Fair and King Raleigh. But it looks like they're starting to pressure this mid lane a little bit. And Cassante just off on the side with no vision on him. He's going to start walking
here we go.
up. He's going to get a little bit caught by the Rumble, which is going to disrupt the engage he was trying to pull off. Redwater going to go ahead and hit a couple spells just to kind of get
Azir wasn't
out.
there. That would have been a great
After
time
was
to
going to get
engage.
flashed, burning the cooldown onto that Mel, who's a relatively immobile carry without it. It's a lot of damage on the King Raleigh, but the wave is going to be huge. Azir again ulting 3+ members of the team, but not actually getting the carries this time. Cassante getting chunked out as he goes all out and loses all of his resistances. And at this point, it just looks like Nautilus is just really, really far ahead. It's really hard for High Alert to just keep up with the damage. And Nautilus is going to go ahead and turn this into a little bit more vision, just a little bit more control, trying to push this ward line ever so slightly further. No real big objectives up, but a lot of waves, a lot of side lane pressure. Oh, actually, looks like they're going to get the Otacon spawn, which is going to give
What
them...
is that?
So that's the new guy. That's Otacon. He gives XP and Adaptive Force. He's really good to pick up. He is normally considered kind of a throw. Like a lot of high-level games will... Like, you remember how Dig used to throw a Baron every other game back in 2013? Every team in NA will do Otacon, like, really early when the other team can contest, and they just, like, throw the entire game. It's really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
It
It's a
just
good
spawns
buff,
on.
but
Does
it's
it always
mostly
spawn there,
XP.
or?
So it can spawn top or bot, depending on where more fighting took place.
Oh, that's cool.
It is very neat. It also gives you something to do in periods like this where there would normally be a really big lull in the game.
Yeah.
So like normally there you just see Nautilus like push a bunch of waves and then ultimately not really get the objectives for that fight. But Otacon is like kind of this filler objective that gives you a lot of XP, which is a resource you can't normally purchase in the game, which makes it really easy.
It's so
And
weird
there
that the
goes-
tier 2 mid tower is the first one that got taken. Yeah, and we got the teleport bot side. 3 strong
Bot
now.
side, 3 people trying to get on this
Azir.
Azir. And then, Breadwater's going to go ahead and miss the snare. Azir's going to use a lot of tricks to get out. He's going to miss the
Burns the ult.
Dragon Drag. He burns his ult.
Teleporting bot.
That's a lot of damage onto the Azir. The carry is down, but it looks like Nautilus is
Re-engage.
going to look for a re-engage. Rumble ulti down. Oh my god, the Cassante is going to fall. They're trying to
Nami
chase
ult.
them out, but Less Force is just a little bit too fast for them. Mel is just half
Silver's
HP
caught.
sitting on the side. Siver's going to get caught out again on the backside of this team fight. Zac Fair, King Raleigh,
Turtle.
and Frozen Eighth both all killing Frog Guy. Zacian on the backside, though, trying to land a slow onto Mel. Ultimately gets it reflected back at him. Breadwater able to peel themselves out of the fight. Zacian and Zac Fair trying to run them down. Zac Fair getting the slow. It's going to be huge. The bubble's going to land on the bar. That's going to be a clean one for Nautilus after losing the Azir, proving that they don't need him to win a team fight.
That was awesome. I don't know. I thought High Alert had it for a second, but like Nautilus's re-engage is too strong. I don't know. What can they do against like Maokai, Nami ult? They're gonna get hit.
That's the thing, right? Is that like you take out the carry, but you spend too many resources to do it, and it's just the rest of the team can clean up from there. We're at the point in the game where the lead is big enough to where even though Azir is the carry, the secondary carries are doing more than enough damage to be able to fight 4v4 with the lead that they've generated for themselves.
Oh,
And it looks
we
like
got a collapse on
Woodward's
this
gonna go
Azir
ahead
right
and
here.
get picked again on the Azir.
Oh.
But that's so much damage. Oh my god, the Azir.
What
is
happened with
doing
Cassante? Why did
a
he go
billion
around like
damage. And Cassante is just going to get chunked as well. This Azir is so tanky off of his Rylai's and does so much
He's
damage
also
off
3
his
levels up.
masters, it's kind of impossible for them to take him down.
that? Yeah. Whoa, this is a crazy contest right now.
The Maokai going to go ahead and drop the ulti. The Azir trying to get down even more damage. And eventually it's going to work. Azir's just got too much for High Alert to be able to handle, even in the 2v3.
I think there was some sort of
Confident
miscommunication or something. I thought Lilia and Cassante were gonna collapse on Azir, but I don't think that was the plan.
It looked like that was the plan, but they kind of ended up on the wrong side of the wall.
Yeah.
But even if it was the plan, I'm not sure it would have worked. That is.
I don't think it would have worked, but it was just so
Dumping
weird
damage.
how Cassante turned around and instead of walking straight to Lilia, who's getting her, marbles rocked.
Getting clapped, yeah. All right,
Oh.
so it looks like we
Oh.
might find another catch onto Cassante here. Those Ash slows are so hard to deal with for these relatively immobile tanks as they just get like slowly petered out. Rumble ulti's gonna go down, and
Makes it a
Bartle's gonna hit
5v4.
the carry, but not before they take down the Cassante. And frankly, getting that meat shield out of the way is likely going to be a free Baron for Nautilus.
Man, Nautilus's objective control is just unmatched.
I think it's just that it's so hard to control objectives when you're this far behind. And Azir doing the classic Azir thing where he's doing Baron from outside of the pit because Azir is really balanced. Alright, so Titan's going to try and go in and get a little something going, but it's just not enough. Another kill, another couple kills going over to the side of Nautilus. And it's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a methodical stomp right here.
Did Titan run in there with Smite from his spellbook?
I think that might have been the plan.
I think that was the play.
I can't tell. We've got the Windows toolbar blocking our view on our stream. Shout out Windows 11, that's my game though.
Dang. Alright, so we're pushing down mid.
Yeah, this is just going to
Bot
be
side got pushed in.
Yet another strength of Azir is these impossibly deep sieges because he can create towers for protection.
Cool.
Right? And it's just yet another part of the kit that's busted, right?
Yeah.
Like, so Azir is just so clearly geared for competitive play, and is so good at gating, maintaining, and even forcing cryo.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Maokai's gonna decide.
No.
We're gonna get a reflector off on the no. Ultimately, they're actually gonna be able to peel off that engagement. Then the arrow's gonna come in, and Stoppable and Cassante's gonna go ahead and reflect that back. That's a lot of engage tools actually coming out from Nautilus here. High Alert might have an opportunity to at least clear the wave, but might be looking for a little bit of a counter engage as Nautilus recognizes that their cooldowns are relatively high, and they're backing off to give just a little bit more farm and collecting a little camp.
That was so good. That was so good. They're as long as they time out this Baron buff, like they have a chance.
Absolutely. The game isn't over until it's over. And it's not like High Alert lacks for scaling. Sivir comps are always innately scary. Sivir is one of those characters where if you miss her in one team fight, she will absolutely do your entire team in.
Yeah.
Looks like Nautilus is going to find the Bard yet again for a little bit of a catch. This time he's not going to be able to get out nearly as easy. Tite getting really stunned up by Frozen Ace here. Frozen Ace is going to go ahead and take the kill on 2 Bard. Let's just take a step back while we get this little breathing room in. 8k gold for Nautilus. They have 2 characters on their team that should be full items ahead of their counterpart. Do you think we're still trying to play 1-3-1 if we're High Alert, or is there a different strategy like this?
No, you have to be rolling around as 5 all the time. And even then you're screwed because you're just going to get engaged on and die.
So what you're saying is that you need to roll around as 5, but not just roll around as 5. You need to roll around as 5 and get lucky and accidentally run into the separate member of Team Company.
Yeah. Yeah, like if they could collapse on that Azir that's bot side right now, that would be cool, but they wouldn't be able to because what do you call it? Nautilus will just rotate over. Yeah, here comes Maokai ult.
It looks like they're burning a lot of cooldowns from Nautilus. Maokai's going to go ahead and use his ulti. And then we're going to go ahead and get Rumble all the way in. Eventually coming out on the side of Nautilus, or on the side of High Alert, is going to buy them a little bit of time. But they're still going to lose their mid laner. And that's
they come back into Azir.
Onto, oh my. Blowing up the Bard, and it looks like they're going to look for the end of the game. Zach Fair just has so much damage. Even though his GA remains unpopped, the rest of the team joins him. This will probably be an exploding Nexus. And that's going to do it for Game 1 tonight. Nautilus is going to be able to take it over High Alert in less than 29 minutes. One of the faster games we've seen this season. And just a dominant performance from Nautilus across the board.
Yeah, hats off to the boys. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty dominating performance. I feel like they were in the driver's seat the whole time. So, yeah. I don't know.
I think if I know anything about High Alert, they'll definitely take lessons from this game and they'll translate them into further better play. But just looking at these damage charts, like look at how much of a stomp this was. Like your Cassante is obviously not supposed to be dealing carrying amounts of damage, right? But 6.6k in the span of almost 30 minutes is just so little, especially when the enemy Rumble is dealing 20 or is dealing 22, and then
I mean he built tank, and then he was going for Sheen.
Absolutely, absolutely. But then you think about like, even if you're building tank, you got to think about like the next 51 Jaguars or however.
For me, it's like I don't know. It seems so objective heavy. Like there wasn't a single objective that wasn't contested.
No, for sure. Objectives are very,
so
very important.
so the way that High Alert like drafted their team or whatever, I don't know. I guess maybe the re-engage plan didn't work out. So.
Gentlemen. Okay.
You
Okay.
got it. Do you know who you're sending, or should we go peruse the chats?
It's just me, Winter, and Shady.
You, Winter, and all right, for sure. I got the boys.
Hello?
All right. Well, first of all, congratulations. Oh, well, are we all here, or are we?
Yeah, I think everyone's here.
Okay, everybody's here. All right. First of all, congratulations. Good job, y'all. That was a pretty convincing win. I guess my first question is for, I guess my first question is actually going to be for, Shady. Shady,
What's
playing, or you were playing top lane, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So you were the one who was picking the Rumble.
Yes.
How busted is that character right now?
Rumble is very OP. Every team is banded against me except for this one.
That the character seems kind of absurd. I think there was a lot of shenanigans going on in pick ban phase. Getting Rumble, I'm gonna sorry. I just want to for just a second. Getting Rumble and Azir after first rotation seems completely unreasonable.
Yeah, I think that Rumble, he's kind of hard to pilot relative to a bunch of other champions. You see a lot of people in this league leaning towards things like the Darius, the Olaf, the Set. So people don't really put the respect on champions like Rumble, especially since he's not in my match history that much. So they let it get through. And I mean, I played well. Like I played mechanically well. I didn't play perfectly. Obviously overextended against the Mel, but yeah, the champion's just broken. So
for sure, Rumble's definitely one of the more mechanically difficult champions in the game. He's received some QOL, well, some nerfs recently, but coupled with like some pretty strong QOL buffs with the ticks and everything that have made him like slightly easier to play, but still definitely requiring a lot more hands than some of the classic Juggernaut top laners we've seen. But the power budget just seems to be out of whack with the character right now, right?
He just does a lot of damage. Like, it's really hard to itemize against them too, because when you have your E that has % magic shred, but then you can also build Bloodletter second for a cheap power spike to do just some flat shred. It makes it really hard to itemize against them. I mean, even with all that armor, what can Cassante really do? Like, I did mess up like the top lane play. You guys are probably watching it, where I flashed away. I almost killed him there. If I had held my E correctly, I could have killed him there. Despite being down like a level, right? So that's a misplay on me. But like, champion's just broken, right? The only real, like in my eyes, like the only real answer to Rumble is ban it, right? Pick Ornn into it, or pick Aurora into it, right?
See, I was actually kind of in the pre-ban show. I didn't get to it, but I was thinking Ornn would have been the perfect response from the side of High Alert. But it might just be something they didn't think about too hard. I'm not really sure. I can understand picking the Cassante into it. Cassante is relatively tanky, can definitely rush that MR, and is safe. But like, I don't know, man. Rumble, like once Rumble's team has a lead, he's also like really good at snowballing that. Excellent skirmisher, good when he has like other people getting prio. Your Lilia had so much gold earlier in the game, or not Lilia, sorry. Your mid laner had so much gold earlier in the game after you guys came back from that Lilia fight early. Just seemed tough for them to play against you. And I guess that transitions us into our next question. Winter, Azir has been like a highly contested pick in the league so far, at least in terms of ban phase, often getting banned on red side for fear of giving it first pick blue side. First of all, I do legitimately want to know why we didn't pick it first, and also, how does it feel to actually get your Azir in a game?
First of all, I want to say that game was for my homeboy Charlie Kirk, R.I.P. They did my man dirty. Second of all, I'm an Azir main, as everyone knows, right? I did not pick it first pick because their mid laner plays Syndra. I was a little worried about that coming out, right? Pretty big counter. But I think it was just worth taking it. It's my most comfortable champion, and I ended up picking Mel, who was not that great into his year. Her reflect doesn't really do anything, right? And then I just played for Tifos. So.
I think that makes sense. What do you think the strongest part of Azir is in this? Because again, we've seen like the prow on it be relatively high, except I suppose this game. What do you think the most oppressive part about the Azir kit is? Because we saw all kinds of different things in this one.
So Azir's kit historically is his like high DPS, right? He's the only like DPS mage in the game. He essentially plays like an ADC, but he has high ranges and his utility is insane. So like the shuffle, right, is like game winning. You can use it to self peel, you can use it to engage. He's extremely safe. His dash is extremely long, his early game is weak, but if you can get past that, the champ just kind of turns into a demon, right? Like he's
Nashers
pretty
go
scary.
burr.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were discussing the Nasher spike in the booth. How like the
Yeah.
one item difference on Azir is just
Murder.
so crazy high,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Nasher on Azir is as long as you don't like int, he can probably 1v1 like 90% of mid laners with Nashers if you play it well. Like it's a really big spike.
Even to the point where like the classic Azir counter picks don't really work against Azir because like I think laning is a little bit safer now with all the support roaming being in the meta. People are really about making sure their mid laners kind of safe. And so
Yeah.
like that safety being available before level 9 when you complete your first item. And then if you get to your first item even the assassins can't really keep up with that first item, right? Like you're just dealing so much damage and you have the self peel and you can put people in really bad positions if they just make even the slightest misstep against you. It seems really difficult to play against.
Even into the bad matchups, if you can just survive till first item, then they turn into like playable, So
Yeah,
it's all about just farming, not dying. You're gonna lose a little prio, but as soon as you hit Nasher, you can like play the game.
Yeah, for sure. All right. SFP, how do you feel about your team's performance today?
Oh, dude, I'm ecstatic. Definitely happy for the boys bringing one in. I feel like they played very well. Minus that little early game fight, but outside of that,
Sure. Yeah, that early game fight definitely looked a little bit rough, don't get us wrong, but I think you guys played really well from like that slight lead you guys gave up and like just kind of writing your guys' team comp and mainly playing toward its strengths, right? Like you guys just do a lot of damage. You want those early game skirmishes. You translated that into enough of a lead where even when you were fighting your 4v4s without Azir, they were still winning fights. It just looked really tough for the enemy team to come back once you guys started grouping and moving on objectives and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. In the early game, we before the game started, we talked about our comp, we talked about their comp, and we ultimately just agreed, hey, let's stick to our comp strengths. Let's do what our comp is meant to do. Let's not try to worry about outplaying them, and that's what the story was told.
No, for sure. Sometimes you just got to stick to the script. The script makes sense. Throwing it back to you, Dubious.
All right, so you guys are down. The first two games you guys lost. You was 0-2. Now you grabbed the win. So, like going forward, is there anything that you guys are going to change in order to try to finish out strong, or what's the plan going forward? Don't have to give us the details because obviously you don't want the teams to know, but
Yeah, what changed?
Definitely, we had a rough start with solidifying players and special roles. Shout out to my boy Bread. Forever love Bread. Currently our sub, but I think bringing in a bot lane that our mid laner was comfortable with, also I have experience with, really helped. And then us just sitting down and VOD reviewing and honing in on some communication errors that we were having and get on the same page with quote unquote lingo. And I think soothing that out really helped and showed today.
Okay.
All right, for sure. Well, thanks for the interview. No, go ahead.
Okay, so I think that going forward, we're in a pretty good position because I think that getting to playoffs is not that hard, obviously, with the new format season, and I think that in the best of series, we're gonna do a lot better than these one-off games because we play a lot more champions than a lot of other teams. A lot of other teams have a lot of one tricks, and we only have one trick.
For sure, for sure. I could definitely see like getting into that fearless draft format, changing the texture in playoffs. I mean, changing the texture of this league a lot. I'm really excited to see it because I think it makes for a really interesting dynamic once we start these elimination series. But let's kind of save that for when it comes around. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
For sure. All right.
All right.
What do we got next on the docket, Dubious?
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little break. I'm gonna get get the next game situated, and we're gonna run some ads. I know people don't like ads, but you know, look.
No, I love ads. I think ads are
we gotta
great.
get these tournaments paid somehow, right?
Yeah,
So,
get this money, get that dosh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so we're gonna run some ads, and then we're gonna get the second game set up, and then we'll start right off pick and ban. So.
all right, perfect.
All right, and thank you guys for the interviews. I appreciate it. You know, congrats on the win, and I expect to see more W's coming from you guys. All right.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
GG's, thank you.
Today. Yeah.
GG's, bros.
See you next week.
GG's.
They remind me of me in my youth.
In your prime Valorant days.
All right, so I'm gonna run a 3-minute ad. If you guys want to do something, feel free. And I'm gonna get everybody situated. All right. No. You're off the track. No problem. All right. Let me get this out. Yeah. Yeah, I've been, dude.
Hello, everybody. We've got Fu Fam and Riftwalkers hopping in. It looks like we already got our first couple of bans. Fu Fam going ahead and taking away Zed, which is one of our stronger flex picks, mostly jungle nowadays, along with the Nico, which is usually run support, but also a flexible pick. Riftwalkers going ahead and banning Wukong, which is probably the strongest jungler in the league right now, especially after some recent nerfs to Xin Zhao, and going ahead and getting rid of Orianna, one of the higher utility mid laners. Just general, generic, good character bans right here that we're seeing from both teams so far. Mostly centered around that jungle slash mid prio. Nico notorious for being able to not only push out and shove bot lanes, but also being able to get prio in other lanes with really efficient ganks. And then Fu Fan taking out the really aggressive Darius pick that Riftwalker's top laner can occasionally play, just to make sure it's out of the pool. And Riftwalkers also electing to respect, excuse me, put a lot of respect on Fu Ferrets by going ahead and taking out this Alistair right here. Oh, or are we going to swap to a LeBlanc ban? I know this character is due for some buffs, but I don't think they've come out yet. Very interesting from Riftwalkers.
Now, I do see that they did ban Zed and Darius, which is good, right? Because in last game, we saw them take over the game, right? I always and I always ask myself this question. It's just like, if you know somebody, I'm not going to say one trick, right? But you know somebody plays a champ, over and over again, and you see them play, especially at a high level, it's just, I would try my best to not have them on that champ. And I feel like in last game against Riftwalkers, and I'm not too sure who played them, I think it was Well Riders, is just that, allowing, and I understand one person having their champ, but allowing them to have Darius and Zed is just asking for a bad time, right? It's like you either want to pick off one or two, but as you see in here, we have them both banned, which is good. And I'm just excited just to see what champs, we get from the top lane and what champs did we get from the jungle, because I'm not too sure if you, are tracking on what champs are picked, which I should give you some access to that drive. And you'll see Riftwalkers, the top laner picked Darius both times and performed well both times. So it's like, you got to try your best to keep that Darius off that top laner.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's one of those things where, especially considering they're both really snowbally champions, right? Like it makes a lot more sense to just, if you don't think you can deal with it or you worry about your capacity to deal with it, it's a lot easier to ban it. That's the reason why we have the bans in the first place. But it looks like,
can I offer a different perspective to you guys?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
From a player perspective, sometimes you just want to tilt the guy on the other team. Okay, if you know he's a one trick and you have the ability to ban his champion, piss him off. Because you're already at an advantage. Even if he has a good backup pick or whatever, if he's pissed off, if he's annoyed that his one trick got banned or whatever, that was a good ban. That's a good ban. I'm just saying.
That's the thing, right? Is that, like, if you look at rosters, like Mighty Fine Pie is basically a Z1 trick out of this jungle, at least this season, on the account that he submitted for us. Like, I think it's probably just a reasonable perma target ban against him, especially considering how many games he just has on it. But it looks like
totally valid target.
Yeah, we're gonna start with Kaisa. We're gonna go ahead and trade for Aphelios and Aurelion Sol. Aphelios being another one of those higher prio 80 carries in the wake of the Yunara nerfs. Kaisa also being a really good assassin 80 carry for dive comps. Definitely like a reasonable amount of DPS, but a lot more potential as a backline assassin. Aurelion Sol, an interesting character to first pick. Not really sure what exactly the prio is there, but it's potentially just that Magician knows that his match history shows 500 games of Aurelion Sol, so they want to get that out of the way as quickly as they can, especially before the second ban phase. They're going to go ahead and pass that over to Fu Fam, who's going to respond with J4 and Akali. Akali, of course, excellent in Aurelion Sol. Most assassins very advantageous in that lane. And J4 just adding a lot of pressure. One of those skirmishing junglers that we've seen be such high priority across all competitive leagues, but especially this one.
Wait. We have a special guest in the house, and we haven't heard from him in a while, but he's back.
Oh my God, it's Grab Theory.
We got to address it.
My freaking pings. My pings weren't working. There was, I'm not sure how much was public, but there was a little hiccup a few weeks ago. And ever since then, I thought we weren't doing this.
Oh,
And
oh,
I
no.
didn't get a ping after that.
The last info you had was the accidental almost cancellation.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and I haven't seen any fucking pings since then.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Were you on D&D?
D&D?
Do not disturb.
No, everything else was working. Damn, can you invite my account so I can observe the game from my end? I'll do this shit live.
Let me see. Let me know if you're able to join. 'Cause I think all those.
Is this your casting partner, Kazi?
No, so kind of. This is another one of the guys who was supposed to cast. There was a point like the week before the league started where we thought we were going to have to cancel. I think that's the last information he had. And the first time I think we pinged him since then was today when I was like just looking through the available casters. And so I added him. And that might be why he saw that this still existed.
That's exactly what happened. That
Yeah.
is exactly how it went down. I'm pissed off at the situation, but I'm so happy at the same time. It's such a strange feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get back to these bands. So we got Lee Sin coming out from Riftwalkers. That's obviously going to go in the jungle. Soraka Lulu bands for Fu Fam. Definitely going to go ahead and target LaCha-Cha a little bit with those. Just want to get those enchanters out of the pool. But they're going to leave him his main, which is going to be Lux, trading it for Seraphine and Ornn, which is going to provide Fu Fam with just a really solid, well-rounded dive comp. Riftwalkers being able to save their top lane pick for the final pick, hopefully looking to counter this Ornn and kind of flesh out what appears to be a relatively well-rounded comp, but lacking a little bit in the tankiness department. So perhaps looking for something with a little bit more skirmishing power early game to complement this aggressive Lee Sin pick and the general aggression of the Lux and the Ophelia. So yeah, going with that Aatrox, which is just a really good high damage bruiser pick that can get a lot of prio in that top lane early before the first Ornn item comes out. Looks like they're going to try and pair that with the jungler to just try and force advantage onto Grubs, get a lot of prio top lane, hopefully split down that turret before Ornn's able to really scale into that mid game where he starts getting scary. Definitely going to be a little bit difficult for Fu Fam to necessarily kill this Aatrox too, without having, the standard DPS AD carry that they normally would. Kai'Sa is a decent amount of damage, but not really this type of consistent damage you would get from a Jinx, a Yunara, a Varus, Caitlyn, these kind of things. Definitely wants to focus a little bit more on diving the backline than your average AD carry, perhaps giving Aatrox the ability to kind of fight his way through this J4 and this Akali. But I'm eager to see how this game plays out. Looking at it, looks like we're going to have a lot of split push going through the Aatrox, and then the other 4 on Riftwalkers are probably going to be running around the map trying to skirmish, whereas Fu Fam is going to be giving a little bit of prio bot lane in order to try and get that prio back mid lane with that aggressive Akali J4 combo. I do expect to see both supports roaming a lot, potentially leaving Kai'Sa and Aphelios kind of in that 1v1 state that we've seen in so many of these prior games. As supports try and make sure they support their mid laners and their junglers to try and get the double objective take onto both Dragon and Grubs. But it's worth noting Fu Fam, even though Riftwalker's team is a little bit more aggressive overall, especially in that top lane, Ornn can virtually outscale entire teams by himself. Aphelios is a hyper carry, so they do have an answer, but Ornn's ability to break the gold cap could potentially be very, very important as this game goes further and further. Any thoughts on these team comps, Graf?
I honestly, man, I just got dropped into this. This isn't the sort of neither of these comps are sort of what I would expect from a comp game, though I have very limited experience. I don't think I've ever seen Akali played outside of solo queue. But then again, I'm relatively new.
Oh, brother,
to
yeah.
the scene, especially when it comes to comp.
Akali has a long and storied history in comp play. Actually, her and Zed are probably the 2 assassins that have seen the most play across all regions in competitive League of Legends out of the assassin class, and maybe Master Yi from like way back in the day. But
Gotcha.
Akali is a viable niche counter pick even now. Zed has kind of transitioned to more of a jungler, but Akali is like pickable into like these hyperscaling mages that kind of have these notoriously bad early games where you just want to kind of pick on them, transition to a side lane, snowball a fat lead. Definitely more of a solo queue experience kind of character, but certainly viable in pro play because she has that kind of mobility, damage, and safety.
Right. The one thing that I might be able to comment on, being a jungler through and through, when you're playing something like Lee Sin, where you really just want to be aggressive and invading, and really putting pressure on the enemy jungler, preventing them from picking up their camps and having a nice full clear, as a Jarvan has the option to do. If I was playing Lee Sin, I'd be a little bit worried that my mid is never going to have prio early and never going to be able to have any kind of ability to help support me and a catch on Jarvan.
I strongly agree. I think that the amount of prio that you're losing with the early Aurelion Soul Lock, I do think that it was intentional. I think Fufam let that through intentionally. It's very clear Magician is like not a one trick, but definitely an ASOL player. Like again, he's got about 1,000 games this season. 500 of them are going to be on ASOL. Certainly an ASOL player. I think Fufam used that to bait out not only having to use an early priority pick on the ASOL, but also to sandbag their own mid lane pick and counter it with this assassin, right? I see very clearly in Cobra Lily's history that they play plenty of assassins, so it could have been any one of them. But I do think that it's something we could clearly see coming once we saw that Aurelion Soul get through.
Yeah, this Akali's not going to let ASOL leave lane one bit, even if he had the opportunity. So as far as Lee Sin goes, maybe we'll see less of a jungle-focused Lee Sin. Maybe we'll see, 3 camp ganks onto a lane, instead of in Jarvan's own turf. Try to get an early gank before Jarvan can show up. But then again, Jarvan, if he's allowed to at least get 3 camps in peace, he can be there to counter or even be there to gank before Lee Sin.
And it is worth noting that while the mid lane does seem pretty tilted, the side lanes can also be pretty volatile, even if they're a little bit more even. They could definitely do like some heavy trading early game if they're anticipating trying to get this early Lee Sin gank off. Top side or bot side, just like spamming spells into each other in the wave to try and dump as much damage as they can to set up those Lee Sin ganks, where Lee Sin just kind of works as like the executor of the last 40 to 30% of your health bar, right?
Right. It'll be interesting to see how much Aatrox is allowed to side lane as well, because, forgive me, Fu? What's the second part of their name? They're new to me. Fufam. Fufam's team comp it really seems central to. I mean, the core of it is late game team fighting. It looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
And so to have Aatrox here kind of off on the side lane. I guess you have ASOL ult at the end, but like that assumes that he got through laning phase okay. It's going to be interesting how this plays out, because these two comps wanted to do 2 very different things.
For sure. And it is worth noting that like Aatrox is the kind of character where if you get a fat lead on Aatrox can definitely like 1v9 your games, right? Like he can definitely like run down a side lane. You have to send 3, he might trade 2, and like you're like, dang, that's really sad, while the other team takes Dragon with their other 4 players, right?
Yeah, you've heard of force multipliers. I think the way I think about Aatrox is sort of like a force divider, right? And it's the same case with like all split pushers, but more to the point, like Aatrox has the potential to become one of those raid bosses and take 2, 3 away from your team just to deal with that one guy.
He is a
and in that time, what does Aatrox's team get in return for that?
Yeah. That being said, on the other side, right, I think when you talk about Aatrox as the force divider, I do think Akali is kind of the mirror of that. And that if Akali gets really far ahead, she can choose any given player on the map, they disappear, and Akali will still get outplayed.
Yeah.
right? Which is kind of her split push proposition. She's much less of a juggernaut attract 3 split pusher, and more of the first person I see, we're eliminating them and we're taking that gold and we're running away and then repositioning, right? Just kind of dragging your team around the map because you can't afford to leave anybody alone, which then means you can create other advantages with the other 4 players, providing your Akali isn't dying in the side lane.
Yeah, and
Akali's
honestly,
not...
just in a 5v5 scenario, like if you put both the teams just on opposite sides of an objective and they're all there, under that assumption, Kali gets a pick before that, you know, and Aatrox isn't fed, it's, you know, goodbye.
We're just playing 4v5. Yeah, we're playing 4v5. Akali doesn't need her entire kit to assassinate somebody, right? Which is one of the other reasons why Akali's almost always been viable, is because Akali's never been super duper ult reliant, or in previous iterations has had like 3 ulti charges for whatever reason. But like she can still serve a purpose after blowing somebody up. She's still a threat, especially onto backliners. And she's just so very, very safe for a squishy, right? Like you look at an assassin like Akali, usually the trade-off is like they have trouble getting out after they get in, right? They have 1 escape after they get in, they mess it up, it's over. Yeah. But Akali's escape is so secure that it almost feels like she's more likely to make it out than almost any other assassin.
All right.
For
We
sure.
are about to get into game here.
Let's see. I am eager to see how these early levels go, though. Like, these comps seem volatile enough to where, like, I really do think that early level 3, level 4 on the junglers is going to be what kind of dictates how laning phase goes. And this is one of those games where, on paper, it appears that, you know, if you snowball that laning phase, you could very easily snowball that into the rest of the game. Especially, again, like, with both teams having one very heavy snowballer, it could get real volatile real quick.
Whose jungler is named Chungus?
That would be Fu Chungus.
Fu Chungus.
Yeah,
I really like the professionalism on their end.
No, that's my dog right there. You got Fu Fawns, Fu Cobra Lilies, Fu Ferrets, Fu Moss, and Fu Chungus.
Well, it's like how they do in the pro game. I mean, they didn't do the whole capitalization thing, but like the matching names, making it easier on the casters. Like,
no, for sure. That's 13,500 blue essence, dog. Like, that's an expense. That's a tax write-off. All right, so it looks like
these are their mains.
Allegedly, I don't know how strict we were on the Smurf thing, but I think these are all their mains. I'm pretty sure they've all renamed within the past week. Because last week they did not have matches.
That's dedication.
Yeah. We're gonna get a standard fan from both teams. Just kind of, you know, we've seen this in almost every game so far. No real heavy invades, a little too volatile. Don't want to throw away your entire lead immediately. A little check from the Jarvan to find that Lee Sin. Lee Sin's gonna look for the Q. It's gonna whiff, and we're gonna go back to just chilling. Looks like junglers are currently mirrored. And if they stay until 115, will likely remain mirrored, which is going to create an interesting position either in the bot or in the mid lane as both junglers kind of coalesce on that crab. Unless, of course, Lee Sin decides to go with that 3-camp start you were talking about.
Yeah, they've got options. It all depends on the first camp. And it looks like they're both just going to start on their buffs here.
And Akali doing exactly what Akali does, where she walks up completely unchallenged into the caster minions for Aurelion Soul, because he just can't really contest, even with the auto attacks.
He's trying, though. He got a little auto in.
He's doing his best. It's tough.
Better than I can. My laning account is literally like low bronze.
Oh, I'm sure. I just hit my peak today, and it's gold 3. Like,
oh.
All right. That being said, looks like we are. So it looks like we're going to get full clears from both junglers. If Lee Sin was going to do his 3-camp, he would have gone straight to his chickens and then to his blue buff. That appears to not be the case, which means that the lanes are going to play out a little bit more extended than we might have originally anticipated. Aatrox is going to have prio over the Ornn until Ornn gets his first 800 gold, potentially 2,000 gold, depending on the Ornn's build path. Akali walking up, triggering the Thunderlord's. Oh my god.
I don't know the skill names either, man. Like
Thunderlord's
I'll just be
Decree
like, I
is
think
from
that's
10
for
years
Q.
ago. Yeah. And Ornn losing a little bit of prio, we're going to get a push down bot lane in favor of Riftwalkers, which is going to make it a little bit safer for Lee Sin to potentially get the Scuttle Crab. But it's also going to set up a gank path for the J4.
And speaking of setting up the gank, Jarvan is opting to do his red before his Krugs, and he was clearing a little bit faster than Lee Sin before he made that decision. But this will pretty much guarantee, unless Lee Sin skips his blue buff for whatever reason, this will guarantee that Jarvan will have the first opportunity, the first move on bot for gank here.
For sure. But looks like he's going to play it really safe and not even bother with the crab, which means he has already told his team that the Lee Sin is here. And so he's going to use this ability, he's going to use this cheater recall in order to try and get this crab, get top lane as quickly as possible, because he sees how his top lane is getting bullied. And Fu Moss is going to be able to set up Chungus pretty well for a gank when it comes time for that. On the other hand, Lee Sin's going to path mid lane because the Akali is taking a lot of prio here, but potentially unsafe prio. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, it's just really interesting. Jarvan, or excuse me, Chungus, making that conscious decision. It's almost the default now that you do your second big camp before your last buff, just so that your second sequence is just nicer to come back up. And if you're prioritizing your full clear and prioritizing tempo and getting ahead in that regard, it's a little puzzling.
Okay.
It's not optimal for Jarvan to take a back there. Because his bot camps are going to be desynced for like 30-something seconds. I mean, maybe he can look for a bot gank then, but who knows? Usually the timings don't really work out that great.
I think it's just that this guarantees him the top crab, which guarantees him even experience with the Lee Sin, because he assumes with the prio that Riftwalkers has, if he takes that crab, even if he's like slightly ahead on clear speed, he could just lose to getting collapsed on.
I would argue honestly, I think there was probably enough time to just walk the top crab in that case and take the recall.
I think that is potentially true. But I also do not play the game at the level of these guys, so
I'm a little rusty on. I don't quite know Jarvan's clear speed, but it's not that slow.
I assume every jungler's clear speed is about 310, 315 right now. So, okay, but we did get some pretty heavy trading bot lane. Ultimately, actually favoring the Kai'Sa side of this lane, despite the range disadvantage. Just a lot of damage that Kai'Sa can stack up in the early game with her passive procs. Yeah. Really kind of reflecting that pressure that the Aphelios lane had in the very first couple stages in the game. Aphelios' gun changes heavily affect the amount of prio that he can get at any given time, which means he's not exactly autonomous in terms of how his lane actually plays out, which it looks like both Fu bot laners know is the case. While these guns are heavy and can do a lot of damage, they are not particularly good when it comes to all-inning and not particularly good when it comes to poking. So they're going to get zoned off this wave as long as Fu doesn't decide to take an ill-advised all-in. But it looks like we're going to see just ever so slightly this Lee Sin pop up. He's going to be a little bit slowed. They're going to be looking for the execute onto the Seraphine. Seraphine is low mana. They're going to land the Q. That's going to be a dead Seraphine. On the other side, Krexen is taking low. Fu, Chungus, and Lee Sin are going to be dueling it out. Cha-Cha's going to go ahead and get taken out on the backside. Mighty Lion Pai is going to try and just find another kill here. And looking for the escape, he's going to generate the shield. But Fu Fons is doing too much damage. That proc is going to take down the Lee Sin. And that's going to be pretty big for Fu Fam ultimately here. Getting
huge for Fu Fam, especially because I think Kai'Sa could push in this wave, get that crash, have a nice safe back. Ooh.
Yeah, really big in terms of like wave positioning there for Fu Fam. Just a lot of gold onto this Kai'Sa and this Lux. That being said, Riftwalkers did get all the gold onto the Lee Sin, and that might give them a lot of objective prio and damage, which could be really critical as we get to the Grub and Dragon spawns right here. We're going to be skirmishing around them, especially considering it is going to help make up for the lack of prio that we potentially have in the game. But we're going to get a little bit of a roam
support. Looking at the Akali here, no jungler to be found.
Also no vision. LaChacha potentially taking it all in here. We're going to land the snare. Ultimate's going to come down to stack on top of it. That's a lot of damage going on to the Akali here. But Akali's going to come back with a lot of damage of her own. She's going to ult it. She's going to turn it. Oh my god. Akali's ultimately going to make it outplaying the 2v1.
Chunga's coming for
Yeah,
a brief moment to try to do something there. He showed Lee Sin coming up behind him. Doesn't fish for much.
That is going to be a major pickup for the Akali here. That first kill's worth of gold. That first big advantage you can get in lane. Oh, that's sorry. The kills just came a little bit late.
Yeah.
That first gold. That first gold you can get outside of lane to like kind of get yourself accelerated. Plus the fact that it's going to give Fu Fawns, excuse me, essentially 2 waves worth of free gold down bot, which like may not sound like a lot, but just getting free farms in 80 cure feels so good, especially when you can couple that with a really good back timer because she turned that so hard on the support.
It looks like the Lee Sin on the part of Riftwalker is gonna decide to pull the grubs. Jarvan meanwhile gets vision and looks to start the drag to trade that.
Using the back timer from the Akali to pick up these grubs is going to be pretty good. Fu Lily's falling pretty low here to the Aurelion Soul pressure, though. Aurelion Soul picking up that little bit of AP is definitely going to give him a little bit more damage to poke in this lane, even if the all-in for Akali is still a major threat.
Bot Prio seems to be holding well enough for Chungus to take down this dragon. But
And that's going to be
might
just
find
the...
Pi looking.
Uh-oh. Looks like we've got some TPs coming in mid. Doesn't look like anything's going to really come of it. But yeah, trading objective.
She just really wants that cannon.
Oh, it looks like Fu Moss is going to be... Wow. Lacombe Lafitte really trading positively onto Ornn, but Ornn doing an excellent job of making sure that they stay even in this lane. And then Lilies is going to go for another dive here. Looks like it might actually be failed. That's going to be a kill picked up for the Aurelion Soul after the Lee Sin comes in and interferes with it. Really important there for Aurelion Soul to kind of claw some of that gold advantage back. With the CS, that's actually going to put Aurelion Soul up gold against the Akali in this lane. And just another little pickup of Prio for the Lee Sin. Sorry, what about... Oh, looks like we're going to get smacked in bot lane.
Trade late. Charm comes out from Seraphine. Ult comes out from the Jarvan. Pins down.
Super dead Seraphine. Nothing you can do about that after you get tagged by the Seraphine ult. Just the super dead Lux. That being the weakness to a lot of these like AP carrying mage type characters. When they get caught like that, there's not much that they can do because they just lack the mobility to be able to get out.
2 ults used to grab that kill though. Potentially not a huge issue because there aren't any neutrals up really to fight over.
Exactly,
But
I agree.
It's going to give Riftwalkers an advantage in just about any other skirmish. Jarvan not having ult, he's pretty much not going to be able to gank for the next minute and a half, something like that.
Able to dive, could potentially still find some volatile lanes in order to affect, especially with top lane proving to be a little bit of a fighting lane. And both mid laners clearly willing to scrap. Even without ulti, Jarvan can have pretty strong effects in either of these lanes. Fu Ma's going to go ahead and get caught up by Lacombe Lafitte here. Looking to get dove. That's going to be a flash auto. Lacombe Lafitte taking the solo kill against the Ornn. Again,
Bolo.
Just getting chunked out over and over again. Eventually, the Ornn pays the price for overstaying in lane. He's going to pick up that Bomby Cinder and the Bramble Vest to get back, hopefully neutralizing some of that Aatrox advantage. But 350 gold going into the Aatrox's pocket, starting Blood.
And the teleport from Ornn not up. This Aatrox is going to be able to collect 2 plates as well. I hate to see what kind of back that gives him.
Oh, huge, huge gold. There's at least 1,200 in those pockets at this point, right?
I would imagine. I would imagine that's huge.
Looks like they're setting up for a little bit of a dive bot lane, but this is ill-advised. This is one of very few spots where my expertise comes in, but I play enough AD carry to know that those are dueling guns on the Aphelios, which makes them virtually impossible to
Red
actually
and white don't fight.
Yup, you cannot.
That's the mantra.
Cannot go on the you cannot go on the Aphelios with those guns. But it looks like they might be setting up for a 4-man. There's a lot of resources that they're putting into this area right now. I'm not really sure exactly what the plan is, considering they're all kind of just sitting in this bush.
They're just fishing, but Akali, Lee Sin, they see each other.
Riftwalkers kind of spawning out. The Akali, Lee Sin slowly making his way forward. They'll take out the Vision and the Stealth Wards. Eventually, nothing comes of that play. Unfortunately, a little bit of time wasted, but time that the J4 could afford to spend there, considering the amount of prio he still got on his Akali in the mid lane.
Looks like with that time, he'll check for a grab top. He's going to the bot side.
Oh, ulti coming out from the Lux bot side. We're going to get a little bit of an all-in. Crexton trying to fight back with his dueling guns. That's a lot of damage onto Fufons, but he's going to die
Flash
for
from
it.
Kaisa, flash from
One more
Lux.
auto attack coming out from LeChacha to pick up the kill. The Lux is going to be able to land the binding, and the Lee Sin's going to be able to clean that up. That's ultimately going to be a 2-for-1 for Riftwalkers.
And you know what's really disappointing is I'm looking at the Fufam side of things. Jarvan's farming his blue buff. There's not really a cross map play for him to make here. There's not much setup with Ornn. Aesol's just going to be able to get away. And are you really going to invest your ult?
I'll actually fight that.
Fishing for this red buff.
I think there's plenty you can do with Ornn here. The J4 ulti is so strong with Ornn. I don't see why he's not trying to cross map here. I think he might think that he can take the Lee Sin's camps and still get this gank off top lane, which he's probably correct about, considering how tanky this Ornn is at the moment to the AD coming off the Jarvan. And yeah, that looks to be the plan.
Kali coming.
Oh, absolutely. It's dead
better.
fit. There's no way he's making it out of this one. Just gets knocked up into knock up into knock up, and that's going to be another kill onto the Akali, trying to allocate that gold where it's going to be exploited best. But Lee Sin is going to make his way topside, and Ornn isn't exactly full HP. Lee Sin may be catching this wave, might even catch a body.
I'm going to stick on Krugs. Oh, no, he wants blood. Sees the Ornn stay. We're going to see the engage here.
The Q killing the minion, a classic Lee Sin problem where you accidentally CS and can no longer engage. LeChacha here looking for a snare. It's ultimately going to miss Fu Ferris, but they're going to pop the passive on the support item. Just so many wards in this brush. Oh my lord.
I'm looking at this next objective. We have Dragon coming up here soon, and Jarvan doesn't have his ult, not for a little bit. So I'd expect Fufam to want to stall this out. To see them fight like this, they don't want to do this.
Cobra Lily is getting face checked by 2 mages, but just too much damage, caught in between a bunch of people, ultimately trying to find their way out. Mighty Fine Pine is going to get Aurelion Sol ulti on top of them. Fu Chungus disrupting the Lee Sin Q. Oh my god, and we've got a fight on the backside as well. Fu Fang's trying to get as much damage down as possible. Crexton is trying to also auto attack, getting free fire onto Fu Moss. That's going to be a lot of damage coming in for Riftwalkers. Riftwalkers ultimately making it out positive there. Fu Ferret's trying to take out this Lee Sin, but Lee Sin just going to land the double Q, and that's going to be a full ace for Riftwalkers. Oh my god, that went as badly as possible.
They're going to be able to pick up this dragon, take a big fat back, and be set up real nice for the Rift if they want to contest that too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ultimately, this is going to be at least a tower, at least a dragon, and likely enough prio to set up decent position on the Rift.
And look at this. In what world does Aesol even get this close to taking the first tower? That's crazy.
I have no idea. It's worth noting he also has a 31 CS lead on the Akali. Maybe giving away Magician his like 500 game Aesol is not a good idea.
I'd say. Picking up the blue buff as well. Gonna stay? Get all that CS. I might have to eat my hat when it comes to how I was thinking about this Aesol would be.
Oh, Aatrox is going to go ahead and take away first turret. Trying to get a duel onto this Ornn. Burning Ornn's flash is probably enough for the ulti in terms of trading. Cobra Lily's still putting in a lot of pressure on this Aesol. Just hasn't been able to really find enough damage to just make it bad for him, I guess. Hasn't really been able to find decent roams. A lot of these skirmishes have been going Riftwalker's way. Aesol just has enough gold to where it's just hard for Akali to be able to do what she needs to do, which is basically rotate the Aesol.
I actually wasn't keeping track. Okay, so it looks like Feats is still in contention here.
Yes, Feats is still in contention. I believe the Riftwalkers need one more objective, and they have it.
This engagement in the jungle, there was so many layers of baiting going on. There was like the bait for the bait. Like that was.
I'm very confused. I don't know how we got here.
Both of them thought they were baiting the other.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was actually winning, but oh my! Akali looking for a massive outplay onto LeChacha, but running out of damage at the last second. Oh, she's so healthy, but they're still gonna find it. Looking for one more spell onto the Aurelion Sol, but the Aurelion Sol is going to ultimately make it out, and it looks like Seraphine might be in trouble with the Lee Sin finding a lot of damage onto her. Just so many kills. The Lee Sin has so much damage, hitting the recall and the BM after the 2-1.
God, I remember the last game I cast, he did the same thing. Very bad manners.
Kind of nice, kind of nice. I respect it. All right, Lacombe Lafitte still with Infinity Prio over the Ornn. Ornn just waiting on his 18-item scale to be able to really
Second
contest
tower
this thing.
goes down mid.
And that's another objective for Riftwalkers, just clearing more and more space on this map. And this third neutral objective will get them the feats of strength, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to eat my hat because it looks like the early power of the Lee Sin is going to be able to get this Aesol across the finish line, and not to mention, Aatrox from Calm playing really well. He's going to scale with the best of them here.
For sure, and as much prowess the Akali might have had into the mid lane, just like League of Legends is a team game, right? Like you still need things to go relatively okay with the other plays happening on the map. And Aesol played to neutralize the Akali's advantage. It worked relatively well, and now look where we end up. We're just in a spot where
all he had to do was just sit and survive, do the best he can, and honestly, like he's winning.
Oh, they're finding an engage onto LaChacha here, trying to get a kill. A lot of damage coming out from the Kaisa, but ultimately not really wanting to overcommit there just in case anybody else is hovering around. They didn't really have to shoot Aesol for a second there. Aesol looking to try and get some damage onto this Akali. Lux is going to also throw the ulti over there. Lacombe Lafitte getting in another fight with Fumas. Fumas looking pretty tanky here and definitely going to be able to peel himself out. Oh, but he gets hit with the Ornn ulti. Yeah, not able to actually proc it because of the Aatrox chain.
Yeah, no kill either way, but that's both ults out from top laners. Advantage a little bit to Aatrox as he pulls out the Rift and still hanging on to Flash here. Ornn stays, this might be a very tricky situation, but I do see...
So it looks like
Lily's
it's
coming up.
From top lane.
Aatrox still has the Rift as an option to... Oh, out comes the Flash. I thought he was going to hop in the Rift and he's going to have to get away.
I think the Rift Top would have been actually really nice there, but it looks like Lacombe Lafitte and Aatrox are going to start, or Lacombe Lafitte and Cobra Lilies are going to start dueling. Fumas just looking for one more auto in order to proc his passive. Fumas is going to go ahead and clean up that kill, while ultimately Riftwalkers is going to pick up another turret coming down bot lane.
And not the worst for Calm here in this. After this last fight, the wave's in a good spot. The T2 is pretty heavily damaged. He was able to pull the Ornn ult, the flash out from the Akali too. So his death here wasn't all in vain.
No, for sure, surely not. But that's going to be another dragon for Riftwalkers, picking up just another one of these neutrals. Really prioritizing the being able to get ahead in jungle. Seems to be working out so far. They are 5k gold ahead. They're going to have the feats of strength done. Riftwalkers positioning around Otacon, but I don't think they have the gold to be able to contest an effective.
No. What they were doing was they were panicking because they thought Riftwalkers is going to start it right after the dragon.
I think Riftwalkers knows that Otacon is #1 throw candidate in the league. Not a great objective to do when things are anywhere close to even. Now, you could argue they are not close to even right now, but still just a great way to make sure that you throw your game to uncertainty when you could be clearing waves and trying to get other advantages.
Yeah, it's an objective like any other. You want to push out the wave, you want to use the prio to get vision on your opponents, a clear sweep and put down vision and far side jungle. Keep prio, then come back to the objective to bait the fight. If they don't catch the wave, well, they miss out on CS. If they face check you, well, you have a really good opportunity for a pick. The setup's the same as any other objective, but I feel like
looks like they're going to death rush onto the Seraphine, or onto the Akali, but Akali's going to be able to escape. Lacombe Lafitte on the other side is going to go ahead and engage Fumas. Mighty for Pie just trying to chase down Cobra Lilies and the rest of Fufan. Aatrox is going to go ahead and pop the ulti. Fumas is going to go really low here. He doesn't have any MR for the Aesol. The Akali's going to take another Lee Sin Q, and that's going to be a kill. Blue Chungus looks to be up next, dying to Lacombe Lafitte, and that's going to be yet another clean fight coming out of Riftwalkers. This should translate into Otacon and more. A second ace in the game.
Yeah, Mighty Fine taking advantage of the chaos that was in bot lane. You saw Riftwalkers Fufam really put a lot of the resources onto that Aatrox trying to duel him, but leaving this Lee Sin, who is 12-1 unchecked, to just sweep the backline while Aatrox sustains.
For sure, and it's worth noting at the beginning of the fight, we were looking at a catch coming out from Fu Fam onto the Akali, but the Akali just proving slightly too tanky in order to get one shot, bought themselves a lot of resources. Spending the full Lux kit meant that they were able to get a pretty clean engage off while still waiting on the Lux's CC and cooldowns. Just not a fight that Fu Fam could really afford to lose there, especially seeing as it started with good CC and a quote-unquote pick. Just not being able to finish their food meant that they lost the rest of the fight. And that's going to be almost a 10k gold lead for Ripwalkers going into this mid-game where we're seeing Baron spawn in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be an eternity for Fu Fam. They are looking at a gold deficit of about 9,000 gold. When you have an Acel that's not done scaling yet, you have a Lee Sin that's 12-1.
Oh, Lee Sin lands another Q onto Fu Ferrets. Looks like he's going to take it in. He just thinks he's too fed to contest with, and he might be right. Mighty Fine Ape just cleaning Fu Ferrets off the map.
Does Lee Sin have a pot? Did he buy a pot? I think he... Sorry, I might have been misunderstood. His character model looked a little bit larger than usual to me. I'm just seeing stuff. I thought he bought a yellow pot.
I would respect that. I would think that was really cool.
These tired eyes. No, I don't think he did. I don't see it active. The ultimate flex. It would have been.
Mighty Fine Pie just roaming around the map, just knowing he can basically be an assassin. His build kind of reflecting that too, going with like one of these more heavy AD builds rather than the off-tank build we would see from Lee Sin, who are a little bit more even in their games. What are you trying to do to deal with Mighty Fine Pie and the rest of Wolfwalkers, but especially Mighty Fine Pie?
If I'm on Fu Fam?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really tough. You really can't do a damn thing without knowing where Lee Sin is. And if you look at the map right now, there's such a disparity in vision. Riftwalkers has wards everywhere. They've got the entire bot side lit up like a Christmas tree. They've got top crab. They have another ward at the top side. They're not going to be able to see. They're going to be able to see every single
Cobra Lillard getting yet another half-hearted assassination attempt onto the real assassin, Mighty Fine Pie, who's just going to go ahead and clean up everybody. Gets jumped on by Fu Ferrets and Fu Fawns, and ultimately going to die for a big shutdown going over to Riftwalkers here. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and disengage the fight as La Cha Cha is going to threat just enough damage to be able to take them out of contention. That being said, they're trying to retreat to their base, getting cut off a little bit by this Acel and this Lux. Crexon's going to go ahead and take down a mid-turret for Riftwalkers here. Ultimately, not exactly what I would call a positive fight for Riftwalkers, but they did learn that they could take out the Lee Sin. That being said, Riftwalkers is going to pick up yet another dragon here, and I think that is going to be Dragon Soul for the Riftwalkers team.
Yeah, they might get the Lee Sin shut down. They might have paid their dues being respectful of the Lee Sin being out of vision and taking a fight to make the pick on their terms rather than Mighty Fine Pies, but it doesn't seem to make a difference here. They lose a lot off of the back end of that fight. You know, if that engagement meant that they don't pick up, the Riftwalkers doesn't pick up that dragon for a bit, if Baron still stays up, then it feels a lot better than it does, but the pressure's still on even after that big shutdown.
Macro-wise, just like a really solid kind of back-to-basics call from Riftwalkers there, recognizing that even though Mighty Fine Pie was dead, he forced 2 backs, and that kind of tells them that they can take the dragon for a little bit more free than you might usually expect if you lose your jungler there, but kind of sneaking that one in underneath Fufon's noses as Fufon tries to get those recalls off to make sure they're healthy enough to contest that drag. Instead, finding no drag there to contest, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and start this naked Baron with 4 members. With the Felios kind of holding down mid.
They kind of can. That's an Acel with 3 items.
Yeah, for sure. Just frying this Baron. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Looks like they're just going to take it for free. Fufon's not really able to do anything but try and get a little bit of shove on these side lanes. Cobra Lily's going to look to try and take down the bot side turret. Rickwalker's neglecting to back, instead deciding to stay. Taking a full engage. Lacombe the Fit hitting all 3 with PC. Just absolutely a raid boss, taking on everybody 1v4, healing half of his health bar. Mighty Fine Pie is going to go ahead and get in, assassinate part of this backline. Crexon is still alive. They're going to take down the Ornn together. Mighty Fine Pie is just too much damage, even for the Ornn with 3 armor items. And that is going to be yet another ace for the Riftwalkers.
What a wild engagement. That mid tower, I swear, that wasn't doing a damn thing.
Absolutely not.
All that damage being dumped out from Lee Sin. It's just insane. The sheer damage of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
the teleport from Lily's came out, but she was able to get on the Riftwalkers that she could. But my God,
it's
to make the difference.
It's just too much gold. This is going to be one of the cleaner games we've seen so far, with Riftwalkers really just crushing everybody who stood in their way. Mighty Fine Pie taking out somebody with Q1, not even Q2. Fufon's trying to get into the back line, and Riftwalkers is going to take that one down to 28 minutes flat. Clean victory for Riftwalkers. Lisa.
Yeah, that was
Mighty Fine Pie really popping off there. Just an absolutely insane game from that guy. Leading the damage charts on Lee Sin is crazy.
Yeah, that game was kind of hard to watch toward the end there. They ended with a 15,000 gold deficit, and Riftwalkers hadn't even backed off of that last engage that they won.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, tough game. I know. I'm certain that Fufam will bounce back, but dominant Lee Sin performance, and we got to give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
I just think that was a super clean game coming out from Mighty Fine Pie on his Lee Sin there. Not even a character I think I see on his OPGG history, but clearly has been putting in enough work to be able to make it function.
Yeah, and Magician making Acel look broken as hell, running just breezing through lane phase against an Akali as if she wasn't there in the first place. I don't quite know how that happened.
Well, see, you just hit mouse over on the character, and you just breathe on people, and they die. It's pretty.
Well, that's after you get the 3 items, though.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just simply improve. Simply win your countered matchup, and be better than the other guy. You know what I'm saying?
Just be better. Just outplay. Be better.
Simply improve. Don't know what to tell you. Skill issue. Dubious, do we know if we're going to get any interviews post game, perhaps with Mighty Fine Pie and whoever else wants to come? Got it.
Crexon definitely wants to talk.
He was in there immediately, quick, fast, in a hurry. Go ahead. All right, for sure. Let me. I don't think I have the authorities to do, which is fun. Hello, Crexon. Congratulations on your win.
Hello. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. So let's see. You're on 80 carry today, right? Want to tell us maybe a little bit about this Aphelios Prio? Looked like you wanted it pretty bad, considering your first rotation picked it, alongside your team's other big main, Aurelion Soul. How do you feel about the Aphelios pick into you were playing Aphelios Lux into Kaisa, and I've already forgotten?
Seraphine.
Kaisa Seraphine, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Aphelios Lux lane felt pretty fine into the Kaisa Seraphine. I think the only points at which we lost Prio in lane were after the original bot lane fight, and then times when the support would roam, which makes perfect sense, of course.
Yeah.
But outside of that, no issues in the lane, in my personal opinion, at least.
For sure. When you guys see that the enemy team decides to let through that Acel, are you just kind of auto-locking that and just trusting Magician to do his thing?
Yeah, it's one of those things where if it's left open, it's an insta lock. It's virtually like the Mighty Fine Pie Zed, the Frank Demon Darius. You know, it's
Sure.
just, or excuse me, the Lacombe Fit Darius. It's just one of those picks where if we get it, we take it.
Okay, for sure. It seems like your team has a lot of those picks, which I think is good, right? It forces people's hands on the ban phase, because like you look at that ban phase and it's like Darius, Nico, Zed, and it's like these are the weirdest bans.
Yeah,
you know why they're happening. Like
the Darius at the Zed bait says we were definitely a little stunned with the Nico ban, but once we saw that one get locked in and then the Darius to follow, the Acel was left open. I think we're all pretty happy to see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about you know, we were worried coming into the game post picks.
I was worried. I I know what you're gonna.
I was
I know
also
what you're
worried.
talking about.
Like-
The Acel synergizing with Lee Sin. Like, is Lee Sin really going to be enough of a bridge for the Acel to scale? Yeah, I was worried, and I was thinking, man, that is just not going to go well, especially with an Akali in lane. So sorry to step on you, man. Yeah, you can ask the question.
I was just saying, like, did you like what was your game plan for making it work?
And I'll be completely honest. It's one of those things where Magician has played more ASOL games than most of us have played ranked games this season.
Yeah, dude.
And like I've seen and I've watched him play a lot of games. And anytime people see the blind pick ASOL, they lock the Yone, they lock the LeBlanc, they lock the Akali, for example. And it's one of those things where he has more games on that counter matchup than that person does games on the champ, and I think this was just one of those times.
Sure.
I need to pull up the mastery chart for him. How many mastery points does he have?
Way too many to still be playing ASOL and find it fun.
Play ASOL out of love.
Oh my god, you were not kidding. That is that's mastery 84. I can't get how many. Oh, I can't see the actual mastery points. But I know it's a lot.
It is definitely.
I pretty much only play Hecarim for the 2 years I've been playing League. I've got 2.4 million on my main mastery, 200 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's half of that, he's like he's a ASOL millionaire.
He's definitely up there. That's for sure.
I think my highest mastery character is like 800k, 500k. It's 500k. That's insane.
Yeah, I only have 200k in Aphelios, for example, and it's just one of those things where it's like I feel like I've played that champion 1,000 times. I can't
to be
imagine.
fair, 80 carry a little bit different, right? Like enough.
Of course.
I'm also an 80 carry main. Like enough of our characters play the same to where like you can kind of pick any 80 carry. Like maybe not any 80 carry, but like you play Aphelios, you can probably play Jinx, you can probably play Ashe, right? But like
you're playing a role more than you're playing, a champion. It's kind of unique to that.
When you see somebody who picks ASOL, you know they pick ASOL. Like they are an ASOL player. Like
yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, for sure. That was a lot of fun to watch. If you is Mighty Fine Pie just gonna do that regularly? Like, that was rough, man. Like he was abusing people on the Rift.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think that has probably been one of the most consistent factors through our scrims and our games since the season started. Is he hops on 5 minutes before the game, he goes into the game, he drops 30 kills, and then he leaves immediately afterwards. He's kind of like aura farming on us in a way.
That's crazy. That's hilarious. No, because like at this point, right, we've seen him, having watched some of these scrims too, we've seen him do this on like 4 or 5 different characters, and it just looks absurd. And like, he's just crushing these jungle matchups, and like, it's not even like it's not how I would expect somebody to crush a jungle matchup, right? Like, usually when I see people who are like really bullying jungle, it's a lot of evading, a lot of I know where you are, a lot of like macro play. This dude just like, he's just, don't get me wrong, he's in the right place at the right time, right? But it's a lot less of the bully stuff and more of just like, I am permanently fighting no matter what. Like,
yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where he just finds a way to snowball every game.
Yeah.
How he does it eludes me, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's the Lee Sin your girlfriend tells you not to worry about. That kind of Lee Sin performance, I believe I've seen it before. There was a scrim between Riftwalkers and some team or another last I was here, and it was another Lee Sin or a farming channel recall blowout before Lee Sin kicks you in the face and sends you back to base.
Those are nice. Those are nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's his favorite. It's his go-to move.
It reminds me of Lee Sin back when like Lee Sin was like best jungler in the game, not close. Like back when used to only play, and I might be showing my age here, but like back in the day, like Lee Sin and Kha'Zix were the only 2 junglers in the game, and like you would have like the aura farming Lee Sin versus the scaling Kha'Zix, and Lee Sin would just style on 4 champions for the first 20 minutes of the game, and the last 20 minutes of the game is Kha'Zix consistently killing your 4-item carry with no repercussions. Like, oh man, it's so.
we
it's
wonder
cool.
why laners hate us.
Dude, I've been killed by so many people who are just like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna play jungle. I'm gonna pick this assassin. I'm never ganking, but I'm gonna kill the 80 carry every single time he respawns on the clock. Like, oh man, but it was
Because the waves look juicy.
I need my
You guys
farm.
go for it every
I need
single
my
time.
I need the farm. I need the farm. My support is off diddling himself trying to like clear wards. Like, but thanks for hopping in, Crexton. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course,
if I may
anytime.
clear up one quick thing, I know
Yeah, for
last
sure.
week I cleared up the name difference between Love Not Hot and Love No Thought. On this week's extension of that, I will be confirming that our support is actually a girl and goes by she, not he. So just wanted to clear that up.
Is that regardless of character in game? Because I usually follow the gender of the in-game
Yeah, I
character.
just
that is a fair point. That is a fair point.
All of you aren't people.
It was mentioned previously. I did want to bring it to your attention. However, way you feel is best to commentate the game is up to your
No
discretion.
problem. I got her. No problem. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah,
that
no
being
problem.
said,
Thanks again for having me.
of course, great to have you. Good luck in your guys' next games. And we're going to throw it back to Dubious for whatever cuts he needs to make before we get into game 3 here.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
See y'all. For sure.
Dubious, I got something to show you, man. Cause oh, you take your break when you're back, and if the ads are still going, I'll show you what I whipped up. We were talking a little bit about like draft music. I had something ready to go. Man. Oh, I thought we were in it. Shit.
And everybody, welcome back to Prime Meta League of Legends. As you can see, we're already halfway through draft phase, but I already have a lot to say. Five Fangs has committed one of the classic blunders, which is we have first rotation pick Jhin, which means the enemy team gets to lock in a tank, and now we can never kill Sion. Unfortunately, Five Fangs is going to lock in Vladimir, which is a character that can go with the .AP items potentially. But that's not necessarily considered the most optimal build for Vladimir, and taking those quote-unquote optimal items away from him is going to affect his like general DPS. Sion is going to be a problem throughout the game unless they counterpick him with the top laner that can reasonably crush him in lane. But the other side of that is that Sion is also an excellent lane neutralizer. So a lot of those snowbally picks, your Renekton's, your Aatrox's, your Gwens, have a lot of trouble being able to really stomp out the Sion and keep him from scaling into that late game where Jhin will never ever be able to kill him. Now, I'm thinking one of the things that Five Fangs might be doing is they might be flexing this Vlad out of mid into top lane, in which case they can bully Sion a pretty reasonable amount. They can force him to build harder items or easier items for the Jhin to deal with, because he will likely have to rush HP and MR rather than stack armor, which is what Sion would normally do against a traditional AD top laner. But even then, I do worry sincerely about Five Fangs' late game damage output onto this team already. And that's before we lock in the Sivir, which is also going to, help out with that hyper carry late game thing. Viego's already an excellent scaler that's really good at getting in the backline.
From Forge Whale, I'm looking at a comp which every team fight, every engagement goes something like this. Sion is in a lane alone. Somebody gets the idea that they can kill this Sion. Viego's right there just hovering, just waiting. Maybe Alistair is there. Maybe Sivir's pushing out a lane nearby, comes back. Alistair knocking up whoever's coming to try to take out Sion. Viego gets a reset, and by the time both teams are fighting over some random spot in the lane, Viego's on his 4th reset looking for the ace.
Yeah.
That's what I see here. It looks really rough for Five Fangs.
But, okay. So this is interesting. I am not 100% sure where we are going with Yone and Vladimir, but both of these characters are able to bully Sion in lane. I think this is Morgana jungle.
It has to
be. Wait. What's going on here?
This is kind of like annoying me a little bit, is because people are coming into the stream and just like assuming that, they know what's going on with the league. Let me clear it up.
Yep.
Fu Fam knew the rank discrepancy. Hence, that's why they joined. All right. They knew, like, hey, I understand this is an Emerald and Diamond team, but we still want to compete. And I still gave them the opportunity to do so. So let's not say that we didn't balance out the teams when these teams competed for 3 months straight. There's no team that came in here last minute except for Fu Fam, which understood the rank discrepancy.
The differences. Yeah.
So I don't want to hear none of that in chat just because you really don't know what's going on. So please, let's refrain from talking about that, because I'm not going to keep repeating myself over and over. Just want to put that out.
I challenge anyone other than Dubious to get 40, 50 people together and play.
Yeah, actually, that is
honestly,
an excellent point.
I don't care what rank compositions you got. The amount of energy and time and sanity you have to invest into hurting all those cats who probably don't have the smallest of egos. I'm not singling anybody out. I'm just saying league players in general, especially the type to join a recreational league and play on stream.
Talking about our cast.
Probably. And me too. We probably have larger than average egos. Getting 40 of us in a proverbial room together for any amount of time is a miracle.
Also, cross country. Like, I know I'm on West Coast time. I know Dubious is on East Coast time. Like, this is a huge undertaking. I want to make sure. Like, I know Dubious isn't saying this so he gets his flowers, but I do want to point out, like, he's put in a lot of work, and everybody who is here understands why they are here. And I appreciate each of these teams a lot for just participating and like making this league happen. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, just have fun, folks.
That being said, getting back to this draft a little bit. So this is a really, really interesting pivot from Five Fangs. First of all, I think we're getting Morgana jungle, which is super.
Yeah, we definitely are getting Morgana jungle. There's really nothing else that makes sense coming from a jungler. Although I will say I haven't seen Morgana jungle in my games, at least in like a year, so I'm not actually sure how it fits in the meta. I do know an option that might have considered, like if they're looking for like AP, CC, bursty support in the jungler type of play, I'm surprised they didn't look at Nautilus, because he's gotten some crazy buffs to his jungle clear, particularly on his E, where he can just absolutely rinse camps with an AP build and still have a lot of catch and kill threat from his Q.
So I agree in concept, but I think one of the other reasons why Morgana is actually super good here is because, and this might be getting a little bit too deep, but Morgana is actually pretty good into Scion, not only because of her kit being generically decent into Scion and Scion's Engage, but also because she is a character that can build Blackfire Torch and Leandries and not give up a lot of her core item slots, unlike this Vladimir, right? Which is going to give them a lot of much needed damage against the Scion as the game goes on. It also synergizes really well with Yone and with Jhin in terms of early game ganks, because she carries a lot of heavy CC, and she also does magic damage, which is going to help with carrying out like the 3v2s that she's going to look to create. The other side of this is that she's going to concede a lot of objective pressure because she just doesn't do very much damage to the neutrals, and she is going to need to find ways to create priority for her laners when they're not creating priority for themselves in order to rotate to those neutrals.
Absolutely. And when you're looking at Sivir in the bot lane, at least, the amount of prio that she's going to be able to achieve in the lane there is going to be immense. And a Vlad, not exactly known for his wave clear early, those rotations from Morgana to help fix their laners' wave states is going to be pretty crucial, as you mentioned.
For sure. And I know it's like a weird thing to think about, but like, because it's Morgana's like a really macro kind of pick, right? Like when you're picking Morgana, you're not picking Morgana to like out hands people, to like out mechanics people, to out DPS people. You're picking Morgana because you're saying, my jungler can be in the right place more often than your jungler can be. And I kind of respect that. Like, I think it's not a bad idea to do that at all. In fact, I think it's a really cool way to play the game because it suggests that you're going to coordinate a lot better around these neutral objectives. And I think we've seen that coordination is really, really important in this league. More important than maybe some of us, especially me, originally anticipated when we started going into it.
I agree, but a great answer, a great strategy for that general strategy that Five Fangs would have, a strategy of just be there sooner and establish control the field.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the first champion that comes to mind in the jungle that says, screw your field, I'm here, we're fighting, I'm just going to take over? That's Viego, right?
No, for sure.
Because he has the luxury of being able to come after the fights, already popping off. Morg, has a good amount of engage if she can position herself well. But the question is, in terms of execution, how much do you need to lift yourself, need to carry yourself before Viego just comes, presses buttons, and gets a reset?
Viego is definitely the duelist jungler right now. Like I'm going to try and fight your jungler. Like he's in that kind of Lee Sin track, right, where his job is to invade, really get in your tents. But I will also say, against Viego's dive, I'm very happy to have Morgana on my team. I think that's one of the better characters you can have in the 5v5s. And frankly, maybe it's just because the pick is new, but I really want to see how this Morgana plays out. Like I'm very, very interested in Morgana right now.
This might be kind of spicy, I don't know. I will disagree with you on a minor point. I don't think Viego as a good 1v1 duelist. He's not great at, I feel like he's not great at starting fights. Where he really excels is getting in on a fight that's already started and cleaning
cleaning
up
it up.
after it's all done. Because the
No,
amount of
that's fair.
Viegos who've tried to, and maybe it's just my own personal experience, my own games. The amount of Viegos that step up to me and fight for first crab without their laners right there and think that they can outduel even just like a level 4 Hecarim. I put 70-30 odds on it that I kill a Viego in that case.
I think that's fair. I also think Hecarim is one of the best duelists in the game early, though. Like, no items. But you have a lot more experience in that front than I do, so I'll concede.
It depends on the champion.
Yeah.
If I'm walking in a river with a Master Yi, oh hell no, hell no,
Dude, you can't beat a Master Yi, bro. Just CC him, bro. What?
No.
I play Volley, bro. Just fucking just cue that guy. Like,
oh, volley into Yi, I would take that a lot more than Hecarim into Yi. Fighting over first crab, like 1v1 level 4 no items.
Get that Q, you proc that E, it's so over. Oh my god.
Because if we're talking about Hecarim specifically, I mean, the only CC he has at that point is his E, but that's
like
also his escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's his escape. And the funny thing about Yi is he presses Q and just doesn't care about your E. He doesn't care about your flash, phase rush, or flash. I meant to say ghost.
Yeah, sure.
Take flash on Hecarim, kids.
Couldn't be me though.
Anyway, though.
Yeah.
Morgana.
Besides Morgana, I think Viego is also kind of new. Excited to see it. I do want to. We have Jin Rel, so that's like a very heavy, high pressure, all in bot lane. I'm excited to see how that 2v2 goes because I always like seeing people who want to fight in the bot lane. I think that's fun. In addition, like, I am personally just a really big fan of Majora, so I'm eager to see whether or not he's on the Vlad or the Yone. When I think of Majora, I would think he's more of a Yone player, but he has significantly more Vlad games in his history than Yone games, which is to say he has 2 Vlad games and 0 Yone games. He also has a 1.13 KD on Vlad with a 0% win rate, but that's besides the point.
I mean, that's just a pocket pick, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Every time I go into these things thinking like, this person picked the champion that
yeah.
with, it ends up being like the stealth, like I'm just stealth blowout.
Okay, so check this out. Majora has 2 games on Vlad this entire season. He has 1 million mastery points on Vlad over his entire career.
Okay.
2 games on Vlad,
right.
by the way.
That's just recently. I bet he's been putting in work practicing on another account.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Because like that's another thing, right? Is that like some teams clearly didn't understand that like we would obviously care enough to just pull up your op.gg. Some teams are getting real target banned right now, and I think players are realizing that they actually need to play most of their practice games on different accounts. Which I respect. Like, I think that is a good idea if you are not already doing that.
I mean, if you're in it to win it, and you want to keep cards close to your chest, I mean, that's how you do it.
I respect that. That being said, there's another reason to play games on your Smurf, and that's so you don't get flamed in chat. Because Argyle definitely lost like a full division on Volibear the other day and was getting it in the Discord server.
Oh no.
just running it down. Like or sorry, Majora. Majora was just running it. It was very funny.
Have there been other occurrences of PML players finding each other in solo queue?
I don't know.
Or was it just the one time that I happened to hop in a game with I think it was Crexon actually.
Oh word. Yeah, you and
months
Crexon are
ago.
about the same elo, yeah. Or at least you used to be. Somebody climbed. Look at you. Look at God.
I'm not God. I am. No, that title belongs to Chasik.
I have no idea who that is. That
He
title belongs to
is
Majora.
#1 Hecarim world.
No, we're looking at the stream has been hidden.
I am looking at a game, but I am waiting for the preview to come up so I can sync my game to your game. But yes, I'm in game. Oh no.
I cast these looking at your stream, Dubious.
I
If you can
can
bring it up.
I can
Yeah.
put it up, but I haven't you've got it?
Yeah, it wouldn't show on the Twitch stream.
Mess with the bull and you
Oh, League of Legends client malfunctioning? Wow.
I've never
We haven't
heard
told
such
that
a
joke
thing.
3 times today. Like,
Although I will say it does look. I noticed this in the last game. The game timer's out of sync with reality.
Sure, yeah.
The junglers are starting their camps before 1:30.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the Vlad pick is going to be Majora's, and Wubby Wubby is going to be our Yone in the mid lane. Picking Xerath, that's a blind Xerath and the Yone counter pick, right? So that Xerath might have been in anticipation of the Vlad, and Five Fangs might have gotten the free double counter pick by being able to pick the Yone into that, because I imagine that is a Yone favored lane. Despite the early game obviously being a little bit more favorite to the Rage character, I would imagine Yone's all-in pressure makes this a little bit more difficult for the Xerath.
Yeah, sorry. I am just trying to sync up my game with the preview, so I'm not.
I'll continue talking.
Out of turn, yeah.
So far things look pretty even. Basic fans, everybody's clearing. One of the benefits of playing Morgana is that you do have a ridiculously fast clear, because of your pool doing that AoE damage to all those minions. Looks like Morgana is going for the standard full clear start. She is lagging a little bit behind the Viego, but I'm sure she'll catch up once she gets to the buff. Majora is going to go ahead and, as usual, take fights, trying to chunk out the Scion, really kind of bully him with the range that he's going to have, especially in these first couple of items. Just because he forces Scion's build path to be a little bit awkward. Wubby Wubby's taking a lot of poke damage in the mid lane, just trading his HP for a reasonable amount of CS before he goes ahead.
It looks like Guo and Atomic going to go for the invade on this Morgana. They're going to be rebuffed.
Is a relatively weak character when it comes to trying to contest those invades. Majora just does. I love watching this guy play, dude. He does not care about minion damage, wave state. He's fighting. We did not come here to do anything but scrap. He is here for hands and hands only. Sion's going to charge with the Q. The camera's going to take us away.
But the flash comes out for Majora. That's a crucial playmaking tool.
Absolutely, especially for Vlad.
His arsenal for the next 5 minutes.
And looks like we've got OG Mush and Atomic Waldo kind of getting shoved in by Gochita and Rando Kanto.
Now here's the thing. Okay, so Argol, gonna take the back, but I was hoping they were gonna fight over top crab. Majora definitely had the level advantage over Guo, but I wanted a demonstration of Viego's supposed duelist powers.
Yeah. Oh, Viego's alleged duelist powers.
This is where he shines, right? Okay, not literally right there. I thought Majora was gonna go in and face check the Viego.
The fact that Majora didn't face check the Viego shows growth, brother.
Smite comes out from Argol to secure the Krugs. That's the second invade that Guo's tried. Hasn't gotten anything for it. Hasn't taken it back. I'm a little concerned about jungle tempo here.
Wubby Wubby getting to the point where he can challenge the Seraph a little bit in lane despite the range advantage, especially with the W shield and the double dash coming out from his Q or his E. Trading back a little bit of that HP that the Xerath was taking away early, trying to force him back so he can catch up on the spread advantage. Majora, on the other hand, just walking up to the Madman, starting to realize the artificial resources generated because he is such a resourceless champion against this Scion, who is out of mana and will likely have to back here while Majora tries to force a third plate or two. Let's see, what do you think of this early game so far? One of the calmest we've had out of all of our groups.
It's definitely calm. The thing I'm really looking at, and again, I'm biased because I'm in the jungle 24/7. Guo is really lacking on tempo here. Argol is being very disciplined about cycling her camps. Her being Morgana, Argo's probably a dude. I think he is, if I remember correctly. And we see just a little bit. Nothing happens in the bot side here, but Morgana does have the luxury to make plays for the next 30 seconds or so while all her camps are down, or all the camps are down. While Guo is still, starting Krugs.
And that's the cost of those like light invades, right? Even though they are not bad by any means. Oh wow, big play from OG Mush, knocking Rando Kanto all the way into the turret, burning all of his resources, and being able to set up this perfect counter gank. Atomic Waldo landing a 3-man knockup. Gogeta and Argyle are both going to be in trouble as well, and it looks like Argyle's going to have to trade his life. Argyle, he's going to actually live.
Argyle gets out.
Majora
all that
walking literal circles around that
jungle tempo and everything. I guess it works out because Viego, even though he's farming his Krugs, like the timing works out. Ogmush and Atomic were able to stall out the engage from Argyle just enough for Viego to finish the Krugs and get in position to clean up, get that reset.
And that's what really matters here, right? Is like, as much as we talk about the potential advantages these junglers have over each other, ultimately one of the most important things is timing. If you're getting out-timed, it's really hard for you to contest the other jungler. Majora and Madman, as much as they've been hitting each other, have gotten almost nothing for it. Also, Wubby going incredibly low in the mid lane into the level 7 Xerath, who looks like he has ulti up, but electing not to use it here just for fear of potentially being ganked or standing still.
I mean, if I think about the top matchups, Sion and Vladimir, even if they're not, like, just those two champions alone, those are the champions in the game that you hit a lot and get not a lot for it.
Absolutely nothing.
So to have them in a lane together, it's like...
Yeah, just the most do nothing. Okay, right. Looks like we're going to get some CC onto Argyle coming out here. Or no, Argyle's going to land the chains, but Viego's just going to barely escape with the move speed boost coming out from his ghostly whatever it's called. But Argyle is going to find enough prio to be able to get this crab. Potentially these grubs as well, as they actually elect to lane swap into Majora. Sion getting a little bit tired of getting bullied. Deciding that it's just a little bit better to go into the more traditional AD focused bot lane, and Majora being perfectly willing to take on the Sivir and the 1v1, translating it into enough prio to be able to get 5 fangs this first set of grubs. Argyle ultimately taking the first neutral here, Argyle taking the second neutral here in order to kind of trade back with Guo on those previous ones.
Big ult from Yone.
There, big ulti from Wubby. Guo is going to go ahead and go down here. And they're not only going to pick up the neutral objective, but they also pick up a pretty critical kill onto the enemy Viego.
Absolutely. Whoa. Kind of suffering without his ultimate 9 minutes into the game. It's not a position you want to be in as any jungler, plus Viego.
Talk about that tempo, right? Like, even just a couple of missed lane invades can cost you so much XP. Just that.
It comes around to bite you sooner or later.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, as a laner, I don't really experience it that much, right? Because we usually don't have to deal with, like, that heavy of contests. Unless we're getting, like, fully cheesed out of lane, which is a whole different mess.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just... Sometimes you see these small things add up, right?
Yeah, if laners think about trading as potentially exchanging your own CS to diminish the conditions of your opposite laner, trading in the jungle is trading camps. It's as close as you get to CS blockings, like mechanic you'd have in Dota. Yeah, that's basically as close as you get in League. And these camps are junglers' #1, pretty much the only source for golden experience. You think objectives would give more, but they honestly don't. Early objectives are a huge time sink in that regard. So being able to get your level 6 first and it looks like is crucial.
Dive coming out onto the Xerath with the help of Rando Kanto, going in for Wubby's lane, just chunking him out a little bit. Wubby is a little bit ahead in terms of gold. It looks like Sion's going to go for a proxy onto Majora, but Majora being just a little bit the wiser, goes ahead and wards up to give his jungler that defensive presence. Rando Kanto is going to walk into Atomic Waldo here. Guo is going to go ahead and find him first. SSJB Gogeta really challenging this Alistar on the position and Alistair ultimately kind of conceding that position by only hitting the W and not the additional Q. Too afraid of the support showing up and potentially turning that one around. And we're back to standard lanes. Gogeta and Rando Kanto against Atomic Waldo and OG Mush. And just more and more clearing. What a peaceful existence we have in this game. As Majora and Madman continue to hit each other for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I mean, that's Scion just doing his job, right? Like, all he needs to do is just tie somebody up and then eventually get to the position where multiple people have to answer him.
Oh, big engage coming out for the Jin, using his ulti in order to kind of start something here, but we're going to whiff enough to where likely not going super well. Argyle is going to go ahead and burn. Looks like not his ulti quite yet. Just another disengage. All right, looks like Woe's up here to try and create something onto Majora. It is worth noting that our Scion is a little bit low here. Madman definitely takes some damage from that Vlad ulti. Vlad's going to go ahead and get the flash out onto the Majora Q, and Madman and Guo are eventually going to take him down after he comes up from his pool. As usual, Majora attempting to outplay, but this time not necessarily being successful. Wone is definitely going to get some damage onto Zera here, but ultimately Forge Whale Rise is going to go ahead and take that clean.
And with Viego showing top, Argyle's going to make the decision just to start this dragon. It's already half, 2/3 down. More jungle might be it. Oh my god.
So clean. So clean. That's the thing. So, Pool doesn't do a ton to neutrals when you get your first 2 points in it. But once you're on your 4th, 5th point, you're doing a lot of damage. Especially when you're going a build like Argyle's, where you're going with that Leandries that we were talking about.
And that Dark Seal. So much potential to accelerate off of kills that are yet to come.
Dark Seal in our 3-kill 12-minute game mode. Interesting respect.
It's still more active than a lot of the pro games I've been watching lately.
Oh, we're going to find a snare onto the Alistair. He's probably going to have to pop ulti here or just concede that he's dead. He's going to go ahead and get stunned up after popping ulti. That seems like maybe a little bit of a misplay. Argyle's going to go ahead and land another snare. The pool is ticking underneath the Scion. The Scion's going to go ahead and get ticked out, but Argyle's going to get taken out by Guo and Sean. Looks like Rando Kanto is ultimately going to get traded back onto, and it's just not going to be enough. Ultimately, Five Fangs is going to go ahead and lose that exchange 1-2.
Oh, and that's really rough for Argyle because he invested so much into that. I believe he flashed, if I'm looking at this cooldown correctly, and he put out the soul shackles. She sells seashells by the seashore. Argyle pulling out her seashell, dropping down the chains, trying to lock down Atomic for nothing, just for Viego to clean up there. It's a lot of resources expended for nothing. It will be up, I think, for the next objective, but still, that's a large investment for not a lot of return.
Absolutely. And it looks like Vladimir is going to go with the more traditional build, including like Cosmic Drive, some more of the HP items, rather than trying to go with the Leandry's Blackfire that it's likely to receive from the Morgana. But that also means at this point against Scion, he has probably lost the damage race. Once he scales to be able to have a reasonable amount of HP as well, we'll have a little bit more quote-unquote fair trades. But right now, this is currently a lane that is going to be heavily in Majora's favor. That being said, he's getting a gank from Rando Kanto. Might be able to make something happen here.
For a long time, setting up for Rift.
But Madman knows that he wants to play safe. That being said, that's a lot of Cryo conceded on the potential Rift Herald here. May just be one that Five Fangs gets free.
Here comes a land
no,
Q.
actually, everybody rotates over. Argyle lands a Q, doesn't really do too much. We are
Walker split up though. I'm not sure they can do much here. They're
Yeah,
trying to find an
absolutely
angle.
not.
They can't find it.
Wubby has no cryo mid lane. This is just not a good spot to be in for the Rift Walk, or for Five Fangs. Excuse me. Five Fangs is going to go ahead and lose that Rift Herald for free.
Yeah, you can tell Argyle dancing back and forth really wants to hit the button and go in, but there's just no follow up.
And in addition, Scion TPing bot lane, meaning we have another later lane swap. Obviously, we're a little post plate, so it's not a serious search stream as the first one. But this is where, if we see the Jhin unload on the Scion, this is where we'll really see like, oh, Jhin actually cannot do anything to this character because Scion has a single armor item. Jhin is not touching it.
I'm actually really surprised by that play that Guo just made. Does that first tower secure them feats?
Yes, it did. It secured them feats. They have 3 kills, and they now have the turret feat. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna get an ulti from the there. It looks like we're gonna kill all 3 of the members of Five Fangs who are here. Oh no, they're actually making it out pretty reasonably. Rando Kanto's gonna go ahead and get over the wall, and Morgana, or Argol, excuse me, is gonna go ahead and get out. Oh, but it looks like they're gonna try and engage onto Guo. Argol with a really smooth use of the plant in order to get a really sick engage angle here. TP coming in, if he can just stay alive, it looks like it might be advantage for Five Fangs as the longer the fight goes on. Xerath is going to come in and deal a bunch of AoE damage, but these bullets are coming in from Gogeta. He's going to take down the Xerath as he channels. Argol is trying to solo Atomic Waldo on the backside, and he's going to be able to get that kill. Majora is also in the fight, but Madman is here too, and they just have too much damage for Majora. He's going to try and heal and kite out to his team. He still has the pool. Oh my god, the snare's going to land onto the Madman. The Madman's going to get chunked out. He's going to go into his dead form. It's going to be a pretty clean fight for Five Fangs overall.
That was a really clean sequence, all things considered. After they got caught, gathered themselves, and went back onto the engagement that Sivir and Scion. I mean, it was well played for both sides. There was
a lot going on there. There
was a lot going on.
Argol might be the play of the day. That was so clean.
That certainly was. And so going back to that Rift play, I know it was a little while ago. It's old news. I was a little confused by that because typically you don't want to use Rift on a T1. Mid T1, if you're gonna use it on one of the T1s, mid's where you want to put it. But typically, a higher value use of the Rift, I think, would be to what's typically done is you either save it for Otacon and you just shove it in the adjacent lanes so that you basically give the enemy team something to chew on while you set up or even do the Otacon, or you use it to take out a side lane T2 that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get and get that huge gold injection.
Wait, here's a big engage from Wubby Wubby onto Sean. Wubby Wubby's going to go ahead and get the Z mark cleared. It's not going to do enough, but Glow's going to go on to Major. Rando Kanto's going to get a huge engage, hitting 3 people with his ultimate. Majora's just DPSing underneath all of them. Atomic Waldo's going to try and peel them out. He's ulted up, but it's not going to be enough. He's eventually going to get taken down. Scion's on the backside, not having taken any damage, ultimately not even tanking anything for his team, and that's going to be another clean kill for Five Fangs, just looking to try and create little advantages where they can.
Yeah, really good setup there. Control over the pit, taking advantage of the fact that oh shoot, I don't know the other team's name. They didn't have a great position there. The CC Morgana able to set up really nicely for Majora on the Vlad and ultimately win the back end of that engagement, secure the dragon as a result.
Oh, for sure. Definitely finding ways here in this game, right? Like, it's weird. They keep finding these fights that don't involve Scion, and these fights that don't involve Scion are very, very good for Five Fangs.
And I will say the game in terms of gold is fairly even, just 1,000 gold or so advantage for Five Fangs. However, lots of Darksteel stacks on Vlad and Morg.
Oh, they are stacking those rings up. It is getting close to the point where the Soul Stealers are going to start being gold efficient. That's going to be a little bit scary. Also, Vlad getting to that second item, that immediate Rabadon spike, is something to be concerned about from the side of Forge Whale Riders there.
And the Otacon does spawn top. Now, here's a situation where a Rift would be nice. You just throw it top, and then you let the enemy team chew on that for a bit.
Looks like they're going to look for some engage onto Rando Kanto here. Oh, man. They absolutely obliterated that guy.
Those are the kind of fights that...
No, they need those.
You're wanting to take more as the wave is.
As Majora and Madman continue to hit each other for negative damage.
And Guo's going to start this Otacon without...
This is a ballsy Otacon.
This is ballsy without top prio.
without top prio and without their top laner. Both top laners do have TP here, so they can very well catch up to this fight. But Argo's going to have free entrance after they tank out all the Alistar engage. Looks like it's going to turn into one of those famous Otacon throws that we see all the time in LCS. Madman's going to get onto the backline. He's trying to fight Majora and Wubby. Atomic Waldo still opened up. Wubby's going to go ahead and get down. Majora is still trying to tank all of these characters. SSJB Gogeta just doesn't do enough damage here. Majora tried to channel in. Rando Kanto's looking for just a little something, but just come off the respawn, doesn't have enough. And Majora's going to die on the backside. It's going to go excellently for Forge Whale Riders, taking down Five Fangs. 2 for 0, and a rift. And an Otacon to boot.
If you gave me that freeze frame at the start when they were starting the Otacon the way they did, every single time, 10 times out of 10, I say, Five Fangs get this Otacon and kill all of the whales. But man, that's not how it turned out at all. Viego got the pick, the resets. The Yone ult just didn't
do anything.
Get as much as he wanted. Man, it is kind of frustrating
down a turret here.
Otacon go that way.
Argo is going to go ahead and throw out a binding. The Madman's going to go ahead and flash it. Rando Kanto trying to look for a little bit more engage. Ultimately, it's a 3v3 though, and I don't think they have any way to clear out the Scion, even if they did find something to go in on. Looks like Wubby is going to be a little bit set up here by Sean and potentially Scion. But Sean's not going to hit the stun. Wubby's going to go ahead and make it out just fine. As we get back to clearing wards and just kind of playing footsies around this thing.
Yeah, not much to do for the next few minutes. As Drag is 90 seconds away and Baron over 2 minutes. Catch waves, get your items, play safe. That is the MO for both teams here right now. And I will say the gold lead has shifted on over 2,500 gold, give or take, to the side of the whales. And we're talking about those
all of it's on Viego.
All of it is on Viego. If you start a fight and he's able to get one reset off, that's
he is 7 kills deep. He is really, really hard to deal with right now.
Absolutely. 3 items, Mike. 3 items, 23 minutes. That's scary.
And I just don't agree with Wubby trying to take this fight. It doesn't make any sense to try and kill the Scion. You never have the damage to be able to. You're going to end up having to deal with this like 7-kill Viego. You got a Jonies that make a little bit more sense. Viego's going to get a little bit stunned up here. Ultimately does go down, so that's a big shutdown on the trade, but I just don't think that they can actually do enough here to be able to make it a positive one, as they're going to ultimately lose 2 for the 1. Argo's going to go down as well.
And lose all those Darksteel stacks. Reset back to 0.
Just a tough place to be if you're Five Fangs here. It's not just that Scion is unkillable, although I do want to keep pointing out Scion is unkillable. It's that Viego's also very big, and he's just doing a lot of damage. He's not at the point where he's 100-0ing people, but he's definitely, like, if he sees a skirmish happening, he's going to join in, and it's going to be really tough for you to win. That's just a lot of gold onto one character.
Yeah, it got a little messy there, but that engagement was, what I had mentioned in draft. Scion's the bait. Viego's there to catch whatever comes.
And it looks like we're going to get a flash engage from Majora, doing what Vladimir does when hitting flash R, but it's just not that much damage. They're going to try and go on to Sean, but Sean's going to be able to flash peel himself out. Atomic Waldo's going to be too tanky underneath this ultimate, and it's just not going to be enough for Five Fangs to be able to find a pick, even though they expected a lot of resources there.
Yeah, they were trying to get a pick before Guo could come back and clean up with his 3 items and all that Viego's kit has to offer to clean out fights, but man, that was a lot of resources dumped after an objective that they already lost to get nothing back, with Baron coming up in 3 seconds.
I mean, definitely this. I mean, I think Forge Royal Riders is just like taking their lead and slowly choking Five Fangs out. They're not really looking for these really explosive fights. We haven't seen any aces, but like every trade is 1 for 2, right? Every trade is like, oh, 1 for 1, but we got a turret, or we get an objective and we get out clean. It's just these little ticks that have gotten Forge Royal Riders, despite only being 2 kills up, about 3k gold a game. And no offense to Wubby, but like, what are we doing here, man? Like, we are never killing Scion before the rest of our team can show up, unless we're maybe just cracked. Am I capping? Am I wrong? Oh no, there's Woe.
Maybe it's
might be
a
able to get
Baron
enough damage
stall
here.
play.
And he's dead.
Yeah, so it was a Baron stall play as the rest of Riftwalkers converge on Baron, and they look to
But they
try
didn't
to
start
sneak
it.
it.
But they
They're
didn't
starting.
start it in time. Sean knows that they're there. He's going to have a lot of poke for
I
them.
don't think it's gonna work, but that's what the idea was.
No, for sure, and I respect trying to go for something, especially when you think you're a little bit behind already.
No,
Oh,
no.
God, this positioning is so
Oh no,
weird.
they have just danced around to dodge
they're
Zerathal
just
while
getting
Viego's in
Zerathal
there.
beat. Oh my God, Woe is gonna kill the Gogeta on the back end. It's just a massacre. Majora's getting
my God.
killed as they walk out, losing his ticks on his passive. Rando Kanto and Majora likely have enough self-skill between the two of them to be able to get out here, but it is going to be a little tough. Nice dodge from Majora. Nice mechanics as always. He's trying to actually turn it onto Seraph, onto Sean here, not recognizing that the entire team's behind him. Majora is healing up. Okay, as unkillable as Vlad is, or unkillable as Sion is, this Vlad is also, like, insanely tanky, I say, as he dies.
Yeah, that was
Wubby
hard to watch.
Wubby fighting the Scion took so much time that his entire team was able to simply walk from the Baron pit to help him out.
And then walk back to the Baron pit to
And then
clean
walk
up. Great
back.
call by Sean, by the way, to ult when he did off of the back end of that failed Baron take.
Oh, absolutely.
You see Gogeta and Rando, I believe, super low from that Baron. Sean pulls out the Zerath ult, make him tap dance, while Viego rushes to get in range to clean up, get those resets, and get the kill on Gogeta.
Not to mention,
was
Gogeta
really
basically
well done.
kept them off the Baron single-handedly by, like, kind of walking up safely, but walking up, taking their focus off the Baron, meaning they didn't start it in time, and then also just peppering them with, like, a couple Qs and a W to start that fight, taking away half the HP on the two major carries on Five Fangs.
Yeah, it's as time goes on, it's looking rougher and rougher for five. Ew, I can't talk today. Looking rougher for Five Fangs to come back from this one. I swear, you know what? It's the alliteration. It's the alliteration that's tripped me up, man.
Are you allergic?
No.
Allergic to alliteration?
Allergic to alliteration, yeah.
Yeah.
See you did there. That's good. Looks like the whales will take the overpowered purple crab. See all the vision there is to see.
Oh my God, Gogeta just
no!
getting jumped on by the most invisible Viego you ever did see. Sion queuing the Vlad over the wall. Nothing's ever happening here. It's just looking really, really hard for Five Fangs. That being said, I've seen Five Fangs play enough to know I know this is exactly where they want to be. They are the comeback kids in this league. They've won games from this game state before, but it is still going to be really, really tough. Rando Kanto triggering one of the gym traps. They're going to be able to finish this Baron. Just really trying to choke Five Fangs out of this game. Five Fangs trying to take this turret down bot, and I think they're probably going to be able to do it. Oh, nope, Sion showed
Now
up.
with the Scion teleport, Argol really
God.
split from his team.
Look how much damage the Scion does to Wubby. This is absurd. He's just dead. He didn't even, like, Q him. He just, like, right-clicked him once and, like, took his hands off the key.
It's like if Baus and a Lois got together. Like the two of them merged. That would be the embodiment of them. Argol looking for a pick on.
Oh, finding really, really good CC onto OG Mush. It's a lot of resources they're committing to really just still lose. Oh man, this is just not a good
dragon.
Not a good spot. Lose dragon, lose the fight, lose your life. You're now getting soloed by the support. Oh no.
And Argol's on the wrong side of the map for this.
Or does he have them exactly where he wants them?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Oh, he's super dead. I didn't even know Vega had ulti.
It was looking really bad as soon as.
Oh my God, Gogeta just getting walked down by the Scion. I don't think he knew the Scion had enough mana to do that, but that guy is super dead.
Oh my God.
Oh my lord. young Scion with a stick walking down. This dude is so meaty. Is that? Oh no, okay. I thought I was looking at Sundered's guy in the Scion inventory for a second. I did not.
No, that's
Thornmail with the stacks
what
on it? Why does
hell?
Thornmail have stacks? Is that something it does? Am I dumb?
No. No, I don't. Are you? I don't see what the hell you're talking about. I don't see stacks on Thornmail. That is Thornmail at all.
It doesn't say 455 on Thornmail?
No. No, this is just a Riot special.
It says 546 on Thornmail right
on
now.
the preview. Yeah, what the hell is that?
Yeah, yeah.
What's that
I knew
number?
I wasn't using it. 520 right now.
520. I'm actually in the client trying to look at what that number.
Oh,
that's enemy healing.
We are
reduced.
using. Oh.
I don't know why that's there, but that's what that's counting.
Well, Wubby's dead again. Rando Kanto's getting dove. Atomic Waldo is super tanky.
Argol waiting for the right moment to pull out their ult.
Not
gonna have an opportunity.
Yeah. I think that this Viego is taking over this game, but I also think that Five Fangs is severely comp diffed here. I think this is a huge draft loss, even though I respect the flex pick on the Vlad a lot. And I do think Majora's play has been solid. I think that Scion is just like, your first two picks told your opponent you were never dealing with Scion, and they just capitalized on that and locked in the super tank. Like, they could have locked in Mundo here, they could have locked in K-Saint, it would have been the same thing.
Implicit agreement from Argol as he sells his Dark Seal.
Yep. Oh, Majora's trying to burst down the Xerath. He might actually find the damage. Yeah, he does. Majora deep in the enemy backline, which is to say super dead. Wubby go ahead and TP's in. He's going to take the Scion ultimate, but Argol's Black Shield is going to prevent that from actually killing him. Atomic Waldo finds the engage with his turret. Argol's going to go ahead and pop the ultimate engage. Still going to find a reasonable amount of damage onto Guo, but it's not going to be enough. Gogeta's going to go ahead and get a lot of DPS in. Still not enough. Guo's going to walk up to him.
The Hail Mary curtain call.
Yeah. He gets a kill in the fountain. It's might be comeback season.
If
Five Fangs is trying to win the game here. If this dive works, they are probably going to just straight up kill. I don't think this kills. Yeah.
How is he alive? What is going on?
Well, it's not
If
like
he stalls
Scion does
for another
damage.
10 seconds. There's hope.
No,
But
no, it's over.
Sivir-
It's over.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations to Whale Riders playing an excellent game, front to back. Excellent draft. Really capitalizing on the selections they saw early.
They're
Why
still fighting.
are we still playing?
They're still fighting.
We're still
they come
playing
back?
video games. This would be an insane throw if they did. It would be throw of the century if they did. Wubby is going to take on
but the Scion passive, it does not matter.
Okay, bless. All right, congratulations to Whale Riders. Excellent game coming out from Guo. Again, I really like the draft personally. I think that was a real difference maker here. But Guo was 16 kills deep on this Viego, just like tearing up backlines. Absolutely nothing they could do about him once he got a reset.
Yeah, that's Viego.
Yeah.
That's how you play Viego. That's
You hit all the buttons.
That's his whole
Somebody dies.
MO.
You hit somebody else's buttons.
Yeah.
Keep walking them down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just one reset and face roll, and you just win. Honestly.
Also, I just want to point out the absurd amount of damage Majora gets for laning against Scion.
I have to look at that.
Oh
my god.
31k. And it's not like it's not a real 31k, you know. It's a 31k you get for laning against an actual blob.
Right. Well, let's go see max damage tank. Can we see that, Dubious? Because I bet.
Oh, can you see damage
tanked? Yeah. Right arrow to the right of the sword on the last screen. Hit the X.
Hit the X. So
arrow to the right of the sword. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, but Vlad, from his case, he sustains.
Well, this is this is damage shielded and healed. I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's why the Viego number's so high, because this is heals. Junglers always lead. So you see how Majora's is like crazy high? Junglers always get this number stupid high because they
Right.
heal
Oh,
off the
because
camps.
the heals off the camps.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Scion
Well.
shielded 42k and healed 42k.
Okay, that's
Majora
crazy.
healed slightly more than the Scion while being a character completely based around doing that. Gogeta healed 21 because he took a lifesteal rune, I suppose. And Sivir, that's probably just health regen. Sivir, also, hey, look, perfect KDA coming out from the Sivir, Unkillable Demon King, OG Mush.
You know, there are ADC mains out there who will say the fact that we didn't say something sooner shows that their role is severely underpowered.
Agree, actually. I mean, as far as I'm concerned,
You
that
an
guy can
ADC
do
main?
anything. Yeah, absolutely. I, you know, I sit in the cuck chair, brother. Like, I've been playing the bad role for 10 years.
You are a glutton for punishment.
No, it's so sick. I just every day I queue up, I'm like, one day I'll be able to build 3 Bloodthirsters and Phantom Dancer again. One day Riot will give it back to me.
Oh man.
Well,
as a jungler, I can tell you, no matter if ADC is overpowered or underpowered, you guys complain all this.
No, absolutely, 100%. I'll never stop. I wouldn't be doing my duty.
Don't ever change. Don't ever change.
Yeah. I'd be doing myself a disservice. That being said, OG Mush's damage numbers look really solid here. Obviously, Xerath numbers. Xerath also kind of has that fake damage thing, right? Because you're a poke champion, your damage numbers are going to be.
I want to give Sean more credit because that call to ult off of the failed Baron take,
that was huge. That was huge.
I'm not saying that's what won them the game, but that was the biggest play that I can remember out of this game.
Xerath solo contesting that Baron, and I think Zolo solo contesting the Baron. Argos engage off the plant was still super nice, even if they didn't win the game. And then just like, I don't know, just generally Scion doing Scion things were like the 3 major factors for me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Looks like we got a couple of interviews coming in. Perfect. So this is going to be, who do we got? We've got Atomic Waldo and
Who's Gohan?
I don't know who Gohan is.
Hi Gohan. Who are you in game?
Sivir, sir.
Oh, okay. OG Mush.
Gotcha.
All right. So first of all, congratulations to both of you. Thank you for coming. Did you have something to say to start us off, Gohan? Or OG Mush? Whichever you go by.
Ogmush. It's always Ogmush.
Oh, Ogmush. Oh, I smoke too much, brother. Like.
Oh God. All right, moving on.
Right, so let me ask the first question. So, you know, your team lost the first 2 games. You came in, you pulled off an upset on one of the top 2 teams that was undefeated. You gave them the first loss, and you got your first win. So, how do you feel about that?
Well, who's answering that first, Doobie? It's me or Walter?
Any, really.
Whoever talked first. Yeah.
Walter, go first, please. Then I'll answer.
Well, we went for our most standard comp, like we're like more used to, right? Go on. So, like front line with like a hyper carry behind everything and like a mage. So yeah, I mean, just went with our bread and butter.
Just front to back. Like, yeah, I mean, your comp was very standard, right? You go front to back, your 2 range carries, 2 frontliners, and then like Viego's your assassin. So
yeah, just pick a mage mid. Legit, that's how this meta is. I mean, that's how the game is designed right now. So
yeah, for sure. What about you? Do you have any additional thoughts, Ogmish?
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing, Dubious. Like, the thing is, we know how this team works better than anyone else. Like, even though we lost those first 2 games, we know that the potential that we had. You know, we're just trying some shit out. You know, like just limit testing. We enjoy losing those games. We enjoy getting better, learning, and just taking these notes down, analyzing. If we lost again today, we would have been fine too. This is how we're taking the regular season. We just want to learn and get better, find our footing, see our weaknesses and strengths, and then use our strengths to cover our weaknesses. This was a good showing, and I'm proud of the team.
Okay. I like that.
For sure.
Very well
It
said.
was. I think it was just like a really straightforward, like kind of like. I think even if the Viego didn't like pop off, right? I think even if he wasn't 16 kills deep, I think the way you guys were playing was just like really methodical. You pushed every advantage you found, and it just so happened that you snowballed the Viego out of control. But like, I don't think it looked like you would have lost otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you guys were finding advantages in every lane. It's just that when you find advantages in 3 lanes, your jungler is the one who probably benefits the most, and then you just overload him with gold. You had to be in a spot where you were, right? Where you're just like running it down through the enemy team. They can't really do anything about you at all. Let me ask something. We're in draft, and we saw the first rotation go down. And we were curious if the tanks were a reaction to seeing the enemy pick Jin specifically, or if you think you were going to do that anyways.
Well, things with Jin though are struggles against tanks, right? So they first picked it. Or, I mean, they blinded, right? So it just we just picked Sion top, and it's probably like the most blindable top right now in league, or I guess solo queue comp. I mean, comp wise. Then we just pick another like tanky support, and he really can't play the game towards the end. So I don't know if you saw that.
That's exactly what we were kind of speculating on, right? Is that like we were saying we think Five Fangs got trapped here, right? When you lock in, at least when I'm playing solo queue, and what's crazy is that this does apply in solo queue, but when I play in solo queue, and if I blind Jin, I don't even blind Jin anymore, because if the enemy team picks like Mundo, I'm just like, oh, I won't play the game, I guess. Like, this seems fun. And like the entire game, Sion looked completely unbeatable. There was that one play where you guys were at Baron, Waldo all-ins the Sion, is like kind of winning, but it takes him 30 seconds. You guys sent 4 down to clear Waldo. You left Sean Zareth poking at Baron. You were able to get down and all the way back in 1 Sion HP bar. Because that's how much time like the character seemed to be buying you in those side lanes. How do you feel about Argle's Jungle Morgana?
When it was picked, we thought it could have been flex. You know, it can be picked jungle, it could be picked mid, it can be picked support, or something like that. So we figured since they first picked it, they might have been jungle, I think. But even though I think we had like an idea it would have been jungle. The draft was around it being jungle.
For sure, for sure. Anything you want to say to your fans in the chat, Waldo? They're screaming for you.
Oh, dude, I appreciate them. Dude, they come from League LFG and my other friends servers, so appreciate them.
Oh, for sure. Shout out these guys, man.
Yeah, shout out.
Let's see. Anything else you guys think you want to say about like the way you guys played today, or like how do you feel like your team? Like you've talked about how you're kind of like downloading these other teams, right? Do you think like it's also doing something for your team's cohesion? Because I know, as much as you learn from losing, it's got to feel good winning, right?
I'll let Gohan answer that one.
I mean, yeah, winning this was great, because if we lost this, like we have like very like dedicated fans, and our fans would not have liked seeing us go down 0-3.
Yeah, for sure.
We would have received
the Waldo
like
camp.
we would have received some like panic DMs and shit, but like we got to just stay calm, stay the course. Like we've worked hard on this, and the results are starting to show. But it was just 1 week. Next week this doesn't matter. We have to do it again and prove it time and time again.
Is this
So,
coming back against the Comeback Kings? Is this the beginning of your own arc?
No, this has been our arc. It's not the beginning. This is what this team has been. We've struggled. We've conquered. This is just what the story looks like, and we're going to keep trying our best to do this. We're going to take
we're going
this
parabolic. We're never going down.
Exactly.
Gotta stay going up.
Optimism.
Yeah.
I mean, we can never be like unconfident in ourselves. The moment that we believe we can't win, we're going to lose. We have to come in here, even if a team is 10-0, we have to believe that we can win and beat them. We work hard and we prep. We want this. We want to show the stream and our fans a good showing. We don't want to go down just like losers, just like wallowing in self-pity.
You don't win by not having a winner's mentality. I 100% agree. Like you gotta have that dog in you, right? Like you don't walk into a game saying I'm worse than the other guy. I wouldn't be here if I was worse than the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I have tremendous ego.
Yeah, ego's important. I need
what
that.
were we just saying about ego about an hour ago?
No, you need ego. Ego's good for you.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Mental protein. Nah. Thank you guys for joining us. Any other parting words? I know we already asked Waldo to speak to the fans, but anything you want to say yourself, Ogmish?
Well, I really appreciate everyone that comes in, supporting me and like just typing in the chat. I want it all. I want like support. I want hate because like it's just like if someone's typing hate, it means that they care enough to type it. And we can use and gain motivation through anywhere. As long as I or the team doesn't get affected by it, we can just use anything as fuel.
Okay,
We
so
want to win.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you. So it's okay. So when they hate you on chat, because I have to literally look at this Twitch chat and have to be like mindful of what they say. So it's just like I know they're coming from you guys, but it's just like some of the things they say. It's like I don't know if you're okay with it, but you're okay with it.
Oh, of course. Just let them keep flaming. Like we like it. We like the fire. We want people to be passionate and be themselves.
Okay.
If they hate, let them hate. Watch the money pile up. You know what I'm saying? Let it fly. Drop Guo is crazy, dude. Guo's 16-1, dude. Like, you could not get me to say anything bad about that guy, bro. That was a nutty performance from everybody on your team. Y'all all did well, but it was wild watching that Viego just kind of like run through the entire team. That was a lot of fun, man.
No, it was a fun game to play, and we were just happy that we won this game because it shows to ourselves, more importantly, that we have potential, that we can do
Yeah,
this.
you're
And
clearly capable. Yeah, for sure.
we have to do
And
it
it's
again.
not like it's not like you took down Scrubs either. Like Five Faces look like one of the better teams throughout like this entire season, at least so far. Like I think it's a big dub. Like I think this is going to be. I look forward to watching you guys next week. Let me put it that way.
Well, my opinion on it is that every team is capable of being anyone at any given moment.
Yeah, any given Sunday for sure.
Exactly. We can't be complacent. We have to respect everyone, and they have to respect us too.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to make sure, because that's the thing, right? Is that like you got to make sure if they don't respect you, you got to make them respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I think there's nothing but respect your way after that game.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? Anything else we need before we're going to that closing? Dubious. Any other thoughts? Any questions for these guys? Yeah. Trying to eat. All right.
We appreciate
Respect
it
y'all.
for the interviews and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Have a good night. Appreciate it.
Chat doesn't know how Viego's kit works.
Saying
Am I
the
still on
Viego
air?
stole the ADC
Oh,
skills is
shit.
hilarious. Yeah.
Get paid.
Get the ad money. Yes, sir. Everybody stick around for the ads. We're trying to line our boys' pockets. Great games today coming out from everybody. Obviously, congratulations to our 3 winners. Excellent performances coming out there from Forge Whale Riders. Nautilus also won, right? And who was our third team who won? Let's see. Nautilus won, and then Riftwalkers won. Riftwalkers, I believe, won, right? Congratulations to all 3 of those teams. It was a lot of fun watching everybody play. Can't wait for next week. Not really sure exactly what the lineup looks like, but hopefully it's as hype as it was today. Anything you want to say to the people before we sign off? Graph, Dubious?
Nothing from my end other than Dubious. It sounds like your sound isn't working on the stream half the time.
Yeah, so I turn it on and I turn it off.
Oh, you're right. Got it.
But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for watching.
Close
the
it out,
stream.
man.
I appreciate it. All the games were good. Everything was hyped, and there's definitely a lot of upsets, and I can't wait to post that in the announcement chat. But thank you guys again for watching, and GGs to everybody. And can't wait to see you guys next week. So stay tuned.
Good games, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Keep posting as usual. Make sure to stick around for the ads. We'll see you guys later.